And welcome back to episode 6 of the Lift Éire podcast. We are joined today by myself, Ian Benson, my co-host Alex Cremens, and two special guest co-hosts. We have got Mr. Mason Mills, third biggest squat in the UK all time, top 10 total in the UK, and 10th best heavyweight dots worldwide. And beside him, we have got the big dog himself, Mr. Jack Kenny, two-time national champion, twice represented Éire in the singlet, and current all-time Irish deadlift record holder with 375.5 kg, and not just within the Irish PF, that is the all-time deadlift across all federations in Ireland. So, boys, welcome to the podcast. You can see we are joined by some very big benchers, plus Alex, plus Mason.
I was waiting for some of that. Fuck,
Alex prepped me for that one yesterday. So, boys, how are we doing? Welcome back. Alex, do you wanna take the lead here? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are the boys? How are you getting on? How are you finding training today? Getting back in it.
Three sets of bicycles.
Training?
Back,
You were in the gym, man.
I done 3 sets of bicycles. My back started hurting. I was like, fuck. I'm not feeling good. So landed back from Australia 2 days ago. So it was 30 hours traveling in total. Yeah. So I blame it on that. I felt cooked. Today's the first day I felt semi-human. The last 2. What's the time now?
The time now is just gone 5.
20 past 5.
So the first day I landed in Ireland, I went to bed at 6 p.m. and woke up at 7 a.m. the next day. And then last night or the night before, I was again in bed by 8 p.m. waking up. I've been sleeping so well.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty fatigued, but yeah, it was a good trip.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Mason just competed at the Big Dogs in Australia. Which Big Dogs is this? Big Dog 6?
5.
Big Dogs 5?
Yeah.
You'll be in 6 too, speaking into the future. If you want to be.
I've been invited, yeah.
Yeah. So, Mason just competed at Big Dogs 5 in Australia. Your first 1,000 kg total, absolutely massive then. I know we've known each other for quite a while and competed together, and I know for you that's a monumental moment. Monumental moment for any different, but you've been chasing that for a long time. Talk us through it. Give us the highlights, give us the highs, the lows, the comp in general.
Yeah, so start of the performance, so basically, as you know, my total was carried by the squat, so I'm pretty decent squatter, so I know I had to get like a 430 plus squat on the day. So Connor Kiernan, you guys probably will know him, handled me on the day. So we basically 400 opener, flew 425 moved well, which is a 12.5 kg PB second, and I was like, right, 432, bang on the money. Did you see it?
Yeah. So we're gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
Meg, if you could pull up Mason's performance there. I should have it pre-opened on the tabs.
Yeah, the 432 was, it took about a year off my life.
So it's that first one, the very first one on the left.
Yeah, there we go, yeah. So a bit tough, but moved right.
So for anyone that's listening, we're just watching Mason's squats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can see where it kicked out a bit.
Yeah,
Right.
432.5
Does that annoy you?
Yeah, it fucking does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the big bench, 205.
Now, there's also one thing about Big Dogs I love are the plates.
Yeah, the big
sick.
50s.
So they make them in paying homage to like Ed Cohen's era when they used to do the big golds.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ed Cohen used to fly out to referee it. It's the first one he's not referee.
Oh, no way.
362.5.
This move lovely. This is the highlight of my whole comp.
Yeah, to be fair, you have a lovely deadlift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worked out. So basically, like once I knew I had the 432 squat, I knew
That's great, mate. Thank you.
the 1K was there. Like 100% was there. So I was originally opening on 195 bench, going 205 and 210. But I was like, right, it's pointless in risking it. Like, just get extra kgs. 1,000, 1,002, 1,005, it's the same fucking thing. Like, let's be honest. Like, So what I've done is I dropped the opener back, done 190, 200, 205. 205 moved very well. And then the plan was always to pull for the 1,000 on my second deadlift because the last 2 meets I failed my third pull, as I was speaking about earlier. I hadn't failed my third pull since 2017, and the last 2 meets prior to this, I just kept fucking failing them, bro. Cursed ever since I said in the press conference. I've been cursed ever since. So yeah,
If it makes you feel any better, I missed 2 that day.
So I went 330 and then jumped 362, got it. I think I went 375 for 1,012, but both my hands tore. Thumb on my left hand and then just callus on the right. So got to like knee. It didn't actually feel heavy. It's weird. You know when you might get on your hook grip, when you get a tear, you can't generate any power. Once your thumb's torn, it's weird. Even though it's just torn, I couldn't generate the power I needed. It was a strange sensation.
Yeah, do you think that's like just the actual pain itself, or the hands are swelling, or do you think it's like the body saying like, no, we're not doing this?
Yeah, your body's probably like, no,
it's
not
not
doing
letting
this.
you do it.
Also, like it was the fact, I don't know, maybe because I hit the 1K on my second. I said to you guys, like doing the 1,000, like it was like the Everest, but then afterwards I was like, oh.
What now?
What now? Because I think I didn't have a moment to celebrate the 1K because straight away I was like, right, let's try and chase down fourth place.
Back into the zone.
Yeah, I was like, right, we've got third attempt. Let's get this next lift. So, yeah, the comp was well run. It's the strongest comp I've been a part of. Like, I told 1,000, I come fifth. I think fourth place was 1,025. Third was 1,045. Second was 1,055. And then obviously, if you guys don't know Colton Engelbrecht, look him up. And feel bad about yourself. So look him up now. Feel very bad about yourself. He totaled 1,155 kg. So regardless of
wild.
My God.
yeah, well, regardless of weight category, third strongest powerlifter of all time.
Yeah,
Like
it's wild.
while weighing 60 kg less than the top two. So
That's crazy.
but yeah, the meet itself was decent, very hot in the gym, 40 degrees. But apart from that, like it's just it was the day couldn't have gone better. I know I missed the third pool, but like the day couldn't have gone better.
Yeah,
like
still 8 for 9.
yeah, a lot of the lads were like a few 4 for 9s, a few 6 for 9s, like. So 8 for 9, I think I got the most successful attempts of the day, which is kind of a common theme for my lifting. Like I'm never the strongest there, but I get a lot of attempts in, especially at that level. Like, but yeah, it was awesome to be part of it, and seeing history made because Zahir's under 125 record, which lasts for 8 or 9 years, was finally broken by Colton.
Yeah.
By 45 kg in his opening pool.
Jeez.
Yeah, Zahir. Jay's been trying to get Zahir. I think he's given up at this point, but he was trying to get
Yeah,
Zahir
yeah,
for
so-
ages.
so-
A few years.
So do you guys follow PTC, the page on Facebook, the gym?
On Facebook now.
Nah, so if you follow on Facebook, everyone always asks, is Zahir going to do big dogs? Marcos invites him every year, never does it. Exact same thing. He doesn't like competition. If you look at his biggest totals, it's always done. The second place is like 400 kg behind you.
Yeah.
Like it's good. It's easy to put a big toe up when no one else is there.
Yeah, I said this a couple of times about the clash, right? This is the first time, I think it was me and you did our pod a couple of weeks ago. This is the first time a lot of these boys are going to have competition. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're like in that dynamic. They'll have never shared a warm-up room with a bunch of other guys who could beat them at the clash. And obviously, if Colton turns up,
It's
it's
like,
his to lose.
Like even just for somebody like John Hack, this is gonna be his first time ever at a competition where he's like
he's got competition.
Colton's would have beat his dogs.
But that's what I mean. Where it's like it's not even like because John will always have like it's either total or dots that he can lean on. But like now it's like Colton's gonna rock in. And he's kind of like, well, second place it is.
See
You
you on the
know?
platform, buddy.
Yeah.
What, Dave won the last clash 1082 or 1080? Colton's openers at Big Dogs is 1090.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I think it's going to be interesting just to see how those guys like perform under actual pressure of competition for the first time. I'm sure they've had some over the years, but I mean, no one's been near any of these guys.
I think Fernando, Dupree's, Dave, and Colton will be fine. They'll be fine, but I think the rest of the lads will struggle. Like it's because let's be honest, like as a super heavyweight yourself, you're super. Like you're used to being the strongest person in the gym at any given time. You're used to being the strongest person in the competition. So when you've got another guy across from you who's stronger than you, it's a conflict of egos. And this is why I think as well a lot of these like flights and these rosters fall apart. Purely ego.
Yeah, guys just finding reasons to pull out.
Yeah.
I think what you do see as well when there's that much weight going up and that kind of competition, a lot of guys are going to make erratic attempt selections. They get into a pissing contest, and they're just going to
Open on your third.
Yeah, they're just going to miss so many. Or they get an opener on the board and make this big jump because somebody else did this. It's like rather than running their own race, and they're going to make these big.
Or
big
even like
attempts.
you ever see they try and make attempts based off what they think
What they
somebody's
think
gonna do,
someone's
and
gonna
it's
do.
like, nah, just look at what's going on in front of you.
Watch the lift.
So he's probably
run
gonna
your
take a
race.
20 kilo jump, and then he goes and fails his opener. It's like,
But like that happened at Big Dogs. I was third place at one point in squats. I was second place. Like so, basically, a few of the lads struggled with depth, like because they're so fucking big. There's a guy called Elijah. He's 205 kg. I spoke to you about him earlier. The guy is going to squat probably low 500s quite quickly. You open him 450, 475, which he did fail as well. Literally moved like moved like 170 kg. He can move like 475 like I can move 170, right?
Yeah.
But some of these lads only got one lift in, so a few of them got their third attempts in. Like I've never been in a meet before where like shit, they're like 0 for 2 and they've got one more chance of getting it in.
and they've gone up 20 kilos.
Yeah, I'm like, lads, I expect being brave, but shit, boys, like
Well, there's
like-
one thing being brave, and this is just being a bit stupid.
But it's exciting to be part of that sort of meet.
Yeah.
It is exciting because, like I said, like if it had gone a different way, I could have come like second or third.
Was there a big crowd at the meet?
Yeah, I think over 100 people. Over 100
That's
people.
decent for powerlifting.
Huge powerlifting. Like
Yeah,
that.
over 100 people. Like Big Dogs in Australia's got a huge following. It's got a big following
It's been
worldwide.
massive for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
I remember when the Lily Bridges used to do it.
Yeah.
He might be making a comeback next year at Big Dogs.
I've seen
The
it on
line-
Instagram,
I'd love to
yeah.
see that.
The lineups next year, from what I've heard, is pretty wild.
I haven't gotten anything in my emails yet, but
Yeah, I've got your invite here, bro.
Nobody's reached out to me.
But
this is the closest I'll ever get to Big Dogs.
yeah, bro, but no, the fucking yes, to be in a warm pair of that is pretty crazy. I think that's why the 1K didn't hit properly. Because I thought 1K, but there's a guy there 155K.
Feels
Yeah.
underwhelmed. You didn't get to
Yeah.
go out, get up on the podium, have your moment.
Yeah, like if I'd done that on pretty much every other meet on the planet, I probably would have come in the
Oh,
top three.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Or just outright one.
yeah,
yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Fucking Freddie would have smacked me up on dots. Got 541.
Yeah, but Big Dogs for total, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
But most meets now are dots based.
Yeah.
Other than the Clash and Big Dogs.
well, I think the thing that's interesting with the dots based ones is it allows more competition. Like, I'm a big fan of it, especially if you've got like, it's you couldn't do it in MMA. You know what I mean? You couldn't say like, I wonder what it would be like if
An
you know.
open weight tournament.
Yeah, what would happen if Demetrius Johnson went up against John Jones? It's like,
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
We can't
And
imagine.
it will- we
I
can-
have a good idea of what would happen.
we know what's going to happen, but it's like powerlifting is one of those sports where you can have because of the dots or Wilkes or whatever Gloucester, Brennan points. There's a bunch of different ones.
There's a lot.
Yeah, good lift points. There's a whole pile of different formulas there. But because of that, we're able to get these head-to-heads. We're able to get these battles and actually see who can put together the best day, regardless of total. Obviously, big total dominates all. Like, I mean, I come from an era of powerlifting where I'm here to see the biggest totals, and that's what I'm into. But being able to see big battles of guys just seeing who can, like, out-powerlift each other.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really cool. But I want to go into it, Mason, just for a second. It's this, because a lot of people have been saying, I'm not going to name names in case that's where you go first, but you do hear murmurings of people saying that the standard of squat depth and things like that at Big Dogs, and again, this is not to attack you or take away from your own, so I just want to get your opinion on it. Do you think that the likes of Big Dogs or Australian powerlifting in general, they're a little bit more lenient on depth now that you've been there?
To be honest, from what I've seen, no. Like, to be honest, like a lot of the guys failed squats on depth. This is what I mean. The guy bombed on depth.
Yeah.
So like the fact that if people are just judging depth from what they see online, which is completely fair, but if you look at all my training, like even for when I've done abs, when I've done Irish Pro, when I used to do the IPF, I squat very upright, so it always looks high.
Yeah, fair.
And I've never failed a squat in training and in the comp on depth. I haven't failed one since 2017.
Yeah, I've seen you compete, so I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that they're...
But like, yeah, so like the reason why a few of the lads went 1 for 3 in squats was because of depth.
Okay, so you feel like it's fair that those
Yeah.
kind of statements and that sentiment that there's soft passes for depth. You think that's totally
Now, it's obviously, like
in your experience, but
from what I've seen, like the depth is fair. Like it is fair. Like there's not. I'm not saying you're going to get soft passes or you're going to be overly strict, but like, yeah, I didn't see anything that was bad. Like it's I've seen meets with more relaxed standards. I've seen meets with stricter standards, but like if everyone went 3-3 in squats, you'd be like, all right, fair. That's so let's be honest, there's something happening there.
Yeah.
But if you're the fact that one person, Sean, sorry mate, I'm gonna mention your name, phenomenal lifter, but like he struggled in depth, 390 failed it twice in depth, 3 times, sorry. And then obviously Joe didn't have a great day on depth either. In the end, I think he squatted 450, but he failed 2 in depth.
okay.
Just kept going up. Never seen that before. I was like, fair fucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Just needs to be heavier and get me down there.
And
That's
it
old school
and it
logic
eventually
at this
worked. He
point.
was third. It eventually worked.
It worked out.
Yeah. I was like, fair fucks. But like, so like, if all the lads were like, if you saw like suspect calls and they're all getting white lights, then fair. But like, the fact that there was, I think 50% of the squats were failed.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I think that
Such a
clears it
high
up.
fucking rate.
Yeah, like it's. I know they're big weights, but like, yeah, you can't. Yeah, 50% of the squats are failed and stuff. So.
Yeah, well, talk to me then. Last thing I want to touch on about that Big Dogs meet is we were obviously discussing it in the gym earlier when we were training, but talk us through this refs being changed mid-flight. There's definitely quite a lot of people have spoken about it. There was a bit of a controversy about it. Talk us through. You were there, so what was that all about? You take us through it.
So first and foremost, I didn't have a clue what's going on. I was just trying not to come last.
Yeah, fair.
This is fair. So They changed the refs. I think it was midway through the third or the start of the third. To be honest, I didn't see and didn't particularly care, to be quite frank. Like, it's... Yeah, so from my knowledge, it's... One of the refs got changed from different perceptions of depth, I think. To be honest, I don't really know, because it is hard. Let's be honest. How many super heavyweights are there in Ireland?
Like 4.
Is there 4?
Like
Jack,
genuinely, like 4 or 5.
Jake.
And how many? So how many comps a year do they do?
2, maybe 3.
Two,
Right,
maybe
so-
three
He
at a
didn't even
push.
compete anymore. So
So 2 years.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. What are you even doing here?
So to put it away, so you get 2 comps a year of super heavyweights in. So that means 2 side refs referee effectively 9 super heavyweight squats a year. Has anyone seen a super heavyweight squat from the side?
Yeah, you'd nearly
tough.
need.
It's
You'd
tough.
nearly need
Yeah,
an
I was
extra.
trying to
You'd
describe
nearly
it.
need them to squat an X-ray machine to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you've got lads who are like 160, 205 kg.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of human there.
yeah,
and,
so
and you got 5 spotters around the bar as well.
five
So it's
spotters.
like
True, yeah.
there's
so much to try and see.
there's weight on someone's back that could probably kill most people. So like I feel like I think what happened was inexperienced. Some of them were experienced because they've never been around that weight first and foremost, and then secondly, like it is hard to judge depth for a super.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to referee depth for a super heavyweight. Like I'm quite a leanish super.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
And I squat the way I squat, you can see the hip crease go down quite easy. But yeah, apart from, like if anything, it made it fucking harder because someone still missed their third. That Sean still bombed.
Yeah.
So this one referee still bombed. So it didn't make it any easier. Like, yeah, like it's so my point of view is it's easy to say talk about a lot when people aren't there.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to say, oh, this should have gone. Like, but like at the same time, like people weren't there and the people were there. Unless people were saying they're unhappy about it who were at the venue, which no one owned. Like it's kind of like that. Like I see the issue, but at the same time I don't particularly care.
No.
I've been posting my
that's
lists, like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't give a shit. It kind of impacted me, kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I know Connor was more aware of it because he was handling, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
to be
fair.
quite frank, like,
You don't think it's as controversial as it's been made out to be, and that's very. I mean, you were in the trenches there. So
Yeah.
bro,
that's the
I
kind of-
was in the trenches, but like, yeah, I feel like at the moment we're in a golden era of powerlifting. So we've got on the tested side, we've got people who are doing ungodly things. On the untested side, we have people doing ungodly things. The issue is at the moment, what I'm seeing is certain like competitions are like talking about each other. There's a massive competition trying to get the client base. So rather, people tend to try and one up each other. Like, we're better than you this, or this is doing better than that. Every comp has its place. Every comp has its place. Like, just there's enough lifters to go around. Just leave it at that. Like, in my opinion,
Yeah,
like,
fair. And we've done that. Jack, I want to come to you for a bit, just because it's been a while since you've been on the scene.
Oh, very
so
much so.
talk us through it, Jack. What's the plan? You are coming back.
Coming back. So I guess to give people a bit of context, I competed last at 2023 Nationals.
February.
So yeah, that was a year and a half ago. After that, I changed jobs and I started working night shift. Fucking wrecked me. Threw me right into the ground. I kept trying to train, but then I would just pull my back nearly every other month. So I'd pull my back, injure, rehab, go back, and I would just rinse and repeat, just back and forth. So I just decided to step away and kind of just get to a bit of a baseline. And I just decided to leave that job because I just didn't feel like my quality of life was anywhere near I wanted it to be. So I changed jobs, things balanced back out, felt good. Decided to write myself a block, test my back, see how things were going. Did the block, text my old coach JT on a Sunday night. I said, I want to have that big jump. I want to start going back. And yeah, so that's only about 2 weeks ago. But like things are going really well. Like I know I'm obviously in that stage right now where, you know, like just thinking about powerlifting, I'm just going to get stronger at it. And as well, like you have all those neural pathways you haven't made, so getting back to that level is an awful lot easier than trying to forge it for the first time.
Yeah.
I'd even say though, like, because I've seen you go and come back.
I've actually done this before. as
More,
well.
yeah. I've seen this firsthand more than anyone else. I even like from watching you train today. I think your base level of strength coming back is
100%.
way higher than it's ever been before. Like you coming in and just like ragdolling 260.
Yeah, just breezing
Like
with it.
that would have been like, you know, you would have needed like
that would have
a couple
taken
of
me 2
weeks
months
to
before.
to build up to that. So I was like, Oh, shit,
no,
okay.
I'm running hot,
Yeah.
I'm running
You're
hot.
ready.
Yeah.
I'm
Fucking
ready.
love it.
Hey, Jesus is ready, bro.
Yeah. I've got the
want all the
selfie.
smoke.
That's getting posted.
That selfie up. So yeah, I'm planning to do the comp here in Urban Barbell in April. Put up a total, just try and get something maybe over 900.
Just casual now.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Something small.
I've totaled in the 2,000 pounds, and I'm not going back to the ones.
Yeah. Listen, fair.
Yeah, that's just it.
Big dog is talking. Whoop, whoop.
And do the comp there. And I don't have any major plans after that. I definitely do want to win another national title. I mean, 3 just sounds better than 2.
3P.
So more is always better. And just go from there. I don't have any major aspirations to compete internationally. My main goal is to get to 1,000 kilos.
Yeah.
Like all super heavyweights across tested, untested have that number. And like for years.
What's the point in being this heavy?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, this has to pay off. So it's gonna pay off on the fucking platform. It just has to. And like even still, like, cause like we're super heavyweights, but like we're not like that big or that
Probably
heavy.
the lightest and most competition.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because like even in Ireland, like I'm not the heaviest super.
No.
You know, you boys can like take them like good downlighting mirrored selfies and almost have abs.
Yeah.
I like that.
To turn the lights off. I don't know about that. There's some AI shit on there.
Just some obliques from the side.
I'm gonna have to get Frank to work as a magic. But yeah, just gonna go back, do a comp, and just kind of go from there. But the main goal would be to total 1,000. When am I gonna do that? I don't know, but
It's coming.
It will happen. Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah.
Come hell or high water, I'll total 1,000.
Yeah, and we'll be right there with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for that, man. It's been such a long time seeing you be on the platform, and there's always an energy in the room when you're on the platform. So
It's just good crack. But you know, when
He's
you see
got
big
aura.
people move weight, it's
Aura. You just got
fun.
aura.
Yes, so
Yeah,
fun.
it's just fun.
shout out Edge. It's been a while.
Man. Not again.
Uncle's got aura.
What's
Got aura? I don't know. My son's like,
Yeah,
you got
the
razor or
kids-
some shit, bro.
The kids are saying it these days on Instagram.
I don't know. I
don't
don't
know what it
you're
means.
fucking Sigma or something, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the crack. Just get back.
Yeah, I think a lot of, there's quite a few people that are on the potential brink of a comeback. Obviously, you're setting yours in stone, but for anyone that was watching last week with Emma and Jake, we asked Emma McDermott, who was co-hosting with us last week, about someone that she would like to have a head-to-head battle with a retired lifter, and she mentioned Brónagh McPeake, Meg. By the way, we've got Meg on the ones and twos today, coming in, stepping in for Frankie. Frank is over at the
Shout out, Meg.
IPO charity
out, Meg.
competition. He's over taking pictures. So thank you to anyone that actually signed up for a media package. Like we said, 100% of the money that comes in for those media packages is going to go directly back to the charity. It's the last year doing it. So, and best of luck to everyone. It's on right now. So hopefully I'll get over there a little bit later today after we wrap this up to check in and say hi to Shane. But again, thank you to everyone that showed support and gave some money towards that cause. Meg, could you pull up Brónagh McPeake's Instagram? It's on the Lift Éire Instagram. It's the 4th tab. And we'll pull that up and we'll see this post that we put up, the clip. So you can see here where we ask Emma McDermott about a retired for a head-to-head battle, and she says it's Brónagh. So if you open the comments there and just scroll down through them, we can see Brónagh McPeake has not had a post in this account since 2020, and hits it back up and says the training. Go back to the post itself, and you can see Brónagh McPeake there. The training bag is still sitting up top of the wardrobe. Maybe we crack it open. At Sean Crow, never say never. Now, Mason, I know for you, it's you've been around Irish powerlifting for a couple of years now, but Brónagh back in the day was
A
phenom. Like first female to deadlift 200 kilos, still holds I think 2, potentially up to 4 records in the Irish PF to this day.
First 500 dots female.
First 500 dots female, competed across 57 up to 72.
72, yeah.
72.
Back when it was those all weight
57,
classes.
63, 72, European medalist.
Yeah, in the 57.
In the 57, I think it was the squat, right?
Yeah, it was
European
definitely
squat medal.
It was 57 or 63 she medaled in,
Like
but
an
one of the first
absolute-
open medals for Ireland ever.
for Ireland ever.
Unreal.
Ever. And still stands this that hasn't competed in over 4 years, potentially 5.
I think she's still top 10 on dots in the country
Yeah,
as well.
it's wild.
Like, yeah, it's insane.
But yeah, Brónagh possibly on a comeback, attacking Sean Crow. Like, we've said it about maybe
Yeah,
Strength Militia
brought up the
comeback.
last one, yeah.
So, how do we feel about it, lads? For yourselves, how do you think this would affect the competitive landscape if Brónagh came back at peak Brónagh plus more? Obviously, if anyone comes back, it's going to take a little bit of time to get.
Of course.
But I'm talking peak Brónagh, which could easily be done. I mean, she's built different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she's savage.
But what I would be interested in is like what weight class, because there's new ones since she's come back.
Yeah, that'd
So
be
like
interesting.
69,
actually.
76, 63. Which way are you
Like,
going?
which way is she going?
Does she go 69 and go head to head with Jordan? The old phenom versus the new phenom? Stop. That would be savage. Like,
Would Emma come back down?
but Emma, stop.
So there's so much potential. I just think
and
it's
then
really exciting.
we've got what Jody's coming back next year.
Jody is a
Jody,
63.
if Jody went up 69, so we had the 4 of them all going head to head.
You see, that's kind of
This is
what
what
I would love to
powerlifting
see.
is about,
This
you know what I
This
mean?
is the kind of stuff that you'd love to see because anything could happen. Like one missed attempt at that. It's very similar to like guys that have got to big dogs, go to the clash
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
base their attempts off other lifters. How would that one fare out for a group of 4 lifters like that? It's just a high level.
Yeah.
I think the head to heads that would become available there would be immaculate. So please, ladies. It's in your hands.
Yeah.
Like,
We've wrote the script. You just need to do it, right?
like if you do that, that would be epic. So if you could do it for us, so we have something more to talk about, that would be great. Mate, thank you so much for putting that up. Imagine Brónagh actually did come back.
Man.
Like I think that would be
How long has she been out of the sport for?
4 years, 4 maybe 5.
She
be
competed
longer.
after 2020 nationals.
I know 2020 was her last post on her page. So
don't
It
think
wouldn't
that
because
must
we
be
didn't even have. Did we have?
'Cause we had COVID after
Because
that.
we had COVID, yeah.
So she.
When did she last compete in the 70s or 74s? Where it was?
I'll get up open powerlifting.
yeah, I'm
right
putting it
now.
up myself.
72s.
Is it 72s? Is it because of the new weight category?
Yeah, she would have been around the time of the 72s.
Yeah, so her last comp was as a 72, but she weighed in at 65,
Oh yeah, she'll be a 69 then.
and she totaled 470.
It would be cool to see her go to 76s
Insane.
against Emma and Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be sick.
Mia's, obviously Mia's a fucking savage, but like seeing those 3, and obviously the 76 is pretty stacked. There's a lot of lifters in that weight category.
yeah.
Whereas the 69s, I don't know too much about that. I know you've got that Jordan girl just wiped
Yeah,
the floor.
we've
of
got
everyone.
like
Maybe how tall is she?
Jordan. I've no idea.
Has she
I don't
got
know.
the room to go up?
Similar height to me and you, I guess.
Yeah,
She might
yeah.
be a bit
No,
shorter.
she'd be a bit shorter than us,
That's how
but
much.
Has she got the room to go up?
definitely. Like she's
Shocking.
still relatively new to this sport as well.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. So like,
Yeah, she took like a year and a half out too, just to build.
Yep.
I mean, if you ever needed
if
an off
it
season,
works.
That's also
Clearly.
something that more people should do.
Yeah.
Like just give her some time
Yeah.
and room to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on a
Back to back meets do not.
If
make
you're
me-
look, if you don't have much muscle on your frame and you're very new to the sport and you don't really know the rules, don't take an off season yet. Compete, learn to compete.
yeah,
But once
yeah.
you're competitive, like it's good to take an off season and actually build, or go up a weight class and spend the time growing into that next weight class. I definitely think that's. Ian Grant put something up on his story last night about Kira Loftus. And she's
Yeah.
after. Did she triple or take for a set
For
of 5?
5 on squat.
Her comp max on squat that she just hit at Euros.
She had Euros 7-8 weeks ago.
7-8
Only?
weeks ago.
Like,
And he said
7-8
for
weeks?
him,
Yeah.
the anecdotal proof of it is that, and it's purely anecdotal, is
Yeah.
that she is no longer cutting into 63s. She is now actively pursuing.
and she'd do a
filling out
big
the
enough cut
69s.
for that as well.
She
as
would
far
do,
as I
but
know.
you can
Yeah.
see the difference that makes, and there seems to be a trend within that. I mean, the strongest guys are usually typically the biggest guys. So you can see it again. Just don't be afraid to eat up into weight class. Emma spoke about it last week on the pod. She said,
Yeah.
if you told her back when she was weighing 57, 58 kilos that she was going to one day fill out the 76, she'd be like, no way. But
Yeah.
as you do it, and you can see where she is. Now.
What weight class did you start
Oh
powerlifting?
fuck me! So
I'll pull up a picture of that.
I think I started powerlifting. I was like when I competed, I was 96 kg the first comp, right? But before that, I reckon I was like high 80s. Bro, I had the biggest head. My head's big, right? But my head was.
How finally fits in proportion.
Meg,
now.
please, if you could just pull up Mason's Instagram for a second. It has to be seen to be
You have to go
believed.
far way back. Like
Man.
I don't even know.
Sure,
but
what even year
I
was that?
started powerlifting before.
I'll find it
before
if you
those videos on Insta. I'm almost certain.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's
He was
gonna be in.
posting pictures of a barbell.
Yeah, like, PB today, let's go.
Were you into
You're
running or
powerlifting.
something at one point? Were you ever into running?
Yeah, so I done loads of shit. So like when I started running, I ran a half marathon in sub 2 hours, like no training.
Ooh, that's really good.
Yes, my dad does ultra marathons. My dad does like these
Ultra.
crazy like
What?
200k running races. I'm actually at like not anymore, but I'm more of athletic than more statically. Well, statically strong, but like
Yeah.
I'll be more of an athlete. I used to play football and that sort of stuff. Very active sports, and then just fell into the most sedentary static sport going.
Oh yeah,
Yes. But I run a half marathon like sub 2 hours and stuff.
that's really good.
That's
That's really good.
But the reason why I got heavy was obviously during like lockdowns and stuff. I think I went in and I was like 112 or 113 or even 110. And then I come out, I was like 133. But then like I went from 715 to 865 total. So like if you're listening, like, I'm not saying put weight on, but just don't weight cut. Just let yourself grow naturally.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing where like don't just put on weight to put on weight.
Yeah.
And I know mass moves mass.
But if it's good mass.
Yeah. There's a line. There's definitely a
It's
line.
a hard line.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to look like a male candle, right? you want to, no one wants to look
Ideal
like
body type.
Yeah, like you want to like when you go, everyone goes to the gym to start looking good. I know that obviously there's a new age powerlift now where they do start to go to powerlift.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's for the first time ever, like from what I've seen, this powerlifter's first sport is powerlifting. Normally
Man,
they come from
it's
other
crazy,
sports,
yeah.
which is crazy,
Crazy.
which
It's
is crazy.
wild.
But at the same day, lads and ladies, like please do your bicep curls, lat pull downs and stuff. No one wants to look, yeah. So
Give-
my big
he gi-
daddy
he gi- gives our sport a terrible look as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like that story I was telling you when I first started, like, got into the gym. I was approached and was told that I should get into powerlifting. And I was like, oh, that's just for fat people. I was like, I'm not doing that sport. You know, and then 2 years later, I started and I was like, oh, shit, it's definitely not.
Well, look at Nicholas Dupree's.
There you go. Yeah.
Like that guy's fat. Like in every federation, look at Christian.
Yeah.
Like 93 from the UK, the guy is jacked. He's a perfect example of a weight category. Started as 74.
Yeah.
Won the 74, won the 83s, and won the 93s. Like, and this year, pretty sure he would have won 105s of his title. The guy should go 105 to do the Infinity Gauntlet.
Insane.
Just collect them all.
Yeah, doing a Thanos on it.
Yeah,
like,
he's a legitimate athlete, man. He's so nice. He's so fun to watch as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
definitely fill out your weight classes. Alex is actually moving up to the 93s.
I thought you said 105s, no?
Yeah.
He wants to give him a chance.
Slow
first.
build, yeah. Let everyone else kind of get a bit
Go to
stronger.
120s and
And
like-
then, I'll see you there, right? I'll be at your next comp.
Big dogs, big dogs.
Give 2 or 3 years. You get big guys.
Big pups.
They should legit have a combo like that.
should, yeah.
They should.
They do.
But sure, you know, Jay wanted to do that before. Jay Farnty wanted to do
Clash of the Minions.
Clash of the Minions. That's what he wanted to do. He was like, "Oh, I have a great idea." He was like, "Do you want to do this comp?" And I was like, "Sounds good." He's like, "Yeah, we're going to call it Clash of the Minions." And I was like, "I don't want to be in this."
I was
Like,
that was when I competed at the Clash when I did the pro am.
yeah.
And you were competing. You actually deadlifted in my socks.
Yeah, because
still has those
I literally about to go on the platform. They're like, "Yeah, those socks aren't long enough." I was like, "Well, I'm fucked now, aren't I?"
So he ran up. I gave him my deadlift socks. And they still weren't fucking long enough.
I've got so long shoes, bro. But yeah, that's when we first started chatting.
Yeah, that was where this beautiful relationship that has bothered me for many years has come along from. No, if I give Mason shit online all the time at any opportunity, just in case he sees it. If I'm commentating, I'll throw shit. But for anyone that wonders, no, I don't hate him. I'm very, very fond of Mason. But we know each other, so it's just bad.
That's just what friends do.
Some people
Exactly
are very
Character
sensitive to that.
Yeah, you should be worried if we're nice to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Could you
That's
imagine,
when you
like,
know for a fact we're talking about.
yeah.
imagine me bullying him? I could see Alex bullying a big dude.
Man, look,
That's the story of our friendship.
Story of our life.
The last 6 fucking
honestly, he's my bitch.
Sorry, Daddy.
But that Clash of the Minions, that was me and Luke were competing. I was just looking around the rest of the room, me and Luke Torman, right? And Jay was there. I was like, Jay, for Clash of the Titans, you've got me, Luke, and Jay's like, Clash of the Minions. Like, oh, yeah, that's a good one. Might use that.
Oh, man, he loved it.
Come on, get that in a banner.
That's what he wanted. He wanted it to be me and Noel Whelan. And he called it Clash of the Minions.
Oh, man, that's so good.
Because me and Nolly had a head taken into it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Clash of the Minions. I was like, all right, cool, get after it, Jeff. Right,
he's
so
hilarious.
speaking of comebacks, if you haven't been paying attention to the new Jerkules 2.0 meme account,
Wild.
Jer had shared this story. I think it might have been USAPL Ireland shared this.
They reposted
They
his
reposted
story.
his story, and they said yes, Jerkules is a guest lifter at the Eurotour final competition. It's going to be taking place in Abs HQ next weekend. Will he do it? What you think?
I think he'll be doing it. I think he'll be doing it, and he'll be working the top table and spotting and loading and handling himself the whole time, and reffing.
And he'd be rolling raps somewhere for someone. There'll be people training at the same time.
Rapping these in the back.
Half the gym will be training, not helping out. He'll be rapping people's knees for training. Because what makes me kind of think that this is legitimately real is that he went back pulling sumo 2-3 weeks ago.
Saw this.
Pulled
And he did a
302.
squat. He did a squat single in sleeves.
He squats
292, and I know he wants to squat 300 this
does.
week, so that would be tomorrow if he's going to do it. He's just said he's just going to load it and go for it.
With what? Sleeves or wraps?
Sleeves,
yeah.
sleeves. So he's squatting in sleeves.
Well, 282
he's pulling
was
sumo hook grip.
Tough.
It was 292.
292.
Yeah. It's not like
that
think
really
just
might
But he did that immediately after a
full day of handling.
commentating. It was in the evening. It was late.
Yeah.
So he did that he was just like, yo.
Because I actually remember seeing it when I just got back to Limerick, and I was like, he hardly did this today. I was like, man.
But he's the kind of guy.
He absolutely, man, absolutely. Fair play to him.
That's why the thought of him doing this meet.
It doesn't surprise me.
It's not that far out at all.
Like if Jer pops into this as a guest lifter, is he coming back to the Irish PF?
I'd love to see it.
And is he going head to head with you?
With me, do you
Yeah.
think? Well, like,
Should Jared go up though?
Yeah, he's in the 120s now for strongman.
Oh, is he? Okay,
He
yeah.
ain't coming back down.
do you think he'd actually commit to putting on that size?
Yeah, because you'd need to. You won't be winning 120 pluses at like
He's committed.
128. You know.
From having spoken to him, he's definitely committed to being bigger. I mean, strongman is his main goal. He's got got his whole pathway lined up in terms of what he wants to do, the competitions he wants to do over the next 4 or 5 years. So he spoke to me about that. So he's got very, very big ambitions for it, but he's also has a massive passion for powerlifting at the same time.
sure
does.
So I think he's kind of looking at it and going, there isn't a whole pile going on in the 120 pluses right now in Ireland.
God, no.
So there's a handful of lifters, but it's like they're few and far between. So for the likes of yourself and for himself to come back into it, I think that would just make for a very interesting fight. And I mean, look, Joe would probably know this himself. On your best day, you're going to be very, very difficult to get near.
Yeah.
But every dog has their day, and not everybody has their best day. So if you were to come out and miss a lift here or there, which can happen,
It can happen. Yeah.
that all of a sudden shit happens.
It's like, and it's no,
It's like nah.
yeah. And it's no
Motherfucker,
shame
don't
you, but it
miss.
was like the same as last year's nationals. Remember, everyone had Jer counted out.
Yeah.
He pulled for the win. He
pulled for the win. He did it.
He fucking did it.
He actually is a good lifter.
Yeah, he is.
It's just
he
people,
is.
People have a very
Because they just view him
so
out of view
polarised.
online. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
very
yeah.
much like that. But no, Jer's a legend.
No,
Yeah,
listen,
no,
if you
I'd
wanted
like
to come
to
up,
see
I would welcome it because
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
having that crack, even the shit talk we'd be saying in the warm up area, that would just be so much fun.
Yeah.
And as well, the 120 pluses in Ireland, it's so shallow. There's only a handful of us.
She was what, three at nationals?
Is there more than 10 people ever competing in 120 plus in Ireland?
I don't think so. I actually don't. In the Irish PF, I don't think so.
You know, Sean Crow was running that scene. for a while.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5
Sean
years.
beat
Just
Jack
him
before.
almost,
I remember that. Remember that comp?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Same in the UK. There's the top 3 guys. I think it's AJ, Aaron Thompson, some other guy. Then there's literally a massive drop off, 4 or 5 other guys, and that's it. There's literally 10 at most active.
Yeah. It would definitely be the same here, but even smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 people maybe.
Yeah.
Because the AJ totaled 1,001 every weekend.
I saw that. Yeah.
He hurt his
Insane.
back proper bad, I think, a few years ago. I think he literally broke one of his vertebrae or some shit.
wow.
That's why he took the song off. He
Much
just,
worse than that.
yeah, he just took a while off. But
Was he meant to do an abs comp before as well? Am I
he was
right in
meant to
saying
do
that?
I think he was meant to do the pro that
Yeah.
Luke won.
Okay.
And Luke entered last minute. Because I was meant to do that, but I caught COVID.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But now he's huge.
Freak,
Huge.
yeah.
He went to Team India for a bit and they got
saw that,
kicked
yeah.
out the IPF for a while. Or they got loads of failed tests and stuff, I think. So I might be dicing this. I might be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But he's back in Team GB now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But he'll be one for you to watch out for.
Yeah. Big squat is 4 or in and around that.
402.
Yeah.
He's a well-rounded lifter. I think he's got a low 200 bench and he's got a semi-decent deadlift. I think his deadlift's just below yours.
Yeah, I guess as well, with a lot of the supers, typically it's big squats and smaller deadlifts. But for me, it's just the other way around. But I guess even still, it's a total game. It doesn't really matter where the kilos come from. If you can put them on the board, they're there.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I love that with the super heavies. It's just total.
It's not. It's nothing else is on their mind.
It's just who is the strongest.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Old school powerlifting. It's just
that moment, outside the IPF weight categories, is non-existent as well.
Yeah.
This is why super heavyweights struggle quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've totaled 1,000. My doctor's 540.
Yeah.
Like I'd have someone probably total far less lighter and probably get like 560 dots.
Yeah.
Sure. What did Colin dot? He but like 670 something.
Who? Colton.
Sorry, Colton.
Yeah, it must be like mid to high 600s. Like
Yeah.
I think if he had totaled 1,200 at 120, he would have got like nearly a 700 dots.
Jesus Christ.
And again, like just why is he completing powerlifting at 24?
You've just
Like,
he's
he's like
Colin 663.
660.
Like,
like
That's
what,
more
at that point,
some
like,
people's total.
yeah.
Man, more than mine. Yeah.
like,
Let's all put it laugh.
That's what I mean, man. That's
Moving
I think it's like his fifth, I think it's like his
Anyway.
fifth meet.
well, I think
It's not fair.
just to touch back on this Euro Tour final with the USAPL. Obviously, as you know, I was involved with it with Ireland for a bit. No longer involved. What do you make of the Euro Tour final? It's for me. I'll give my 2 cents on it. It's not been rushed. It's been planned for a while, but it does seem like it's a bit flat. Like it's not really. I think do we have one, possibly 2 Irish lifters in it? I think Daniel Doherty is down to do it.
Danny Larry just did nationals.
Yeah, I think he's down to do it.
Legend.
No,
Well, I know he
Whether
didn't have
he
the
does-
day he wanted at nationals.
Whether he does it or not, and then I
Is it
think
in Ireland, the Euro Tour final?
Yeah, it's in Habs.
up and abs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, didn't know that. Fair.
I think potentially Mark Comiskey is also still doing it.
Surely he has to be.
He's down. For
He
it.
is.
You'd imagine he is.
He's the advocate for USAPL Ireland. Like,
Yeah,
he's,
yeah,
do you know,
he's-
the only person I see them reposting the stories. Like, so
Like I don't know.
I'd hope so.
I don't know if there's plans any further than 2025 or any 20 further if going into 2025 for it. I don't know what the landscape it looks like or what the plan is. But what's USAPL like in England, Mason? Like you're around the scene, so how's the planning out there?
I'm not gonna lie, a full-time powerlifting coach, I don't have one person that does the federation.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've done 2 meets in total.
Yeah.
You might be able to get it up. I
This
think
year.
they've done 2 meets, and then like I think there's a USAPL Scotland and might have done 1 meet.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really. The concept's great, but at the same time, I think the IPF's so big, it's never really gonna change it.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult.
It could have. It 100% could have, but like I can't name one lift in the UK who's doing it. Like, off the top of my head, like so no one of note's doing it. So I think all it took was 1 or 2 lifters of note to do it, and that might have like snowballed over there. But in the UK, it's predominantly IPF. But no, I can't name one lifter. I know Dan from Ireland is doing it. Like I said, Dan Doherty is doing it. Comp every weekend, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
More often than not.
Can't be
Yeah.
weekend.
Fair play to him. Fair
Oh,
fucks to him.
what a guy.
Yeah, but now, mate, like I think it's pretty much dead in the UK. Yeah,
I wonder with Ireland. I think if it was to have any lasting hope, I think it would have to be the concept that I wanted to be involved with it was to go external. But I think if it's going to survive at all and draw in new lifters or a pool of like, I think it would be a good place to start off for novices. You know, first time competitors when tickets sell out and keep it in small gyms. So I've definitely changed my tune on it. What I wanted to do was just to be able to run cool events, and it was going to be through the affiliation of the USAPL so that it was sanctioned. But outside of that, I think if it has any hope of surviving now, it should just condense down, smaller pool.
I think it needs to branch off. Like, it needs to stop, trying to, like, they say they're not, but it's essentially trying to compete with the IPF.
Yeah,
like,
no, it shouldn't- it
do
should
your own
never-
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should have never been that.
the
Yeah.
worst thing with it, it's USAPL England,
Man.
USAPL Ireland.
Yeah.
Like your USA Powerlifting Association, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why is that in front of the name? I know it's part of USPL. It's changed.
Yeah, I think-
association.
That
It's the
part-
first thing everyone's always said, and
Yeah.
still to this
It's
day, is
definitely
like,
changeable. I don't know how open USAPL themselves in the States are to it, but I
Yeah.
know USAPL China changed to CHN Powerlifting, which is still the affiliate
nice.
of.
Okay.
So it could be, it clearly looks like it can be changed.
Yeah.
I think you have to latch on to the name first to show that it's an equivalent, so to speak. But outside of that, I mean, what did they just started their IDFPA, International Drug Free Powerlifting Association. That's going to be how they run their worlds now. I don't think it's called the USAPL World Cup anymore. I think it's now going to be the IDFPA World
Who would have
Championships.
thought that we'd have seen that?
Man.
Another version of the IDFPA. So we used to have
Crazy.
the Irish Drug Free Powerlifting
It's like the
Association.
PDFPA in the UK.
Yeah. Literally that.
From
yeah.
back in the
Do
day.
they like basically like in the UK? I think they not allowed to wear knee sleeves. They class
Yeah.
that as equipped.
Yeah,
That's how it was. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know if that's still IDFPA, but that was definitely a thing
Yeah,
back
you
in the
remember
day.
that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
That was raw.
Yeah, that was
Like,
the
it was
real
raw
raw powerlifting. Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, just fold it. Yeah. Fold it. Just keep it moving.
It's just a bit of neoprene. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my take anyway on it. Hopefully it works. I mean, I wish him all the best with it. I would like to see it go somewhere. I know that I think there's supposed to be a good team of Dutch lifters coming over.
Nice, cool.
So it's definitely got some
I
potential.
think
But
certain nations have taken onto USOPL a bit more. Like I know South Korea's got quite
Yeah.
a big,
certain
yeah.
nations
That seems to have a big following
quite a few. Quite like set nations have quite a big following.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's just been rejected.
It
pretty
seems
much.
to be the same with Netherlands, like over in the Dutch team. Like I had 3 or 4 lifters go over during the
Compete
summer,
there,
fly over and compete in the Netherlands for
nice.
USAPL. And
that's one of the things I
seemed to
like
run
about
really
it
well.
is it opened up being able to travel. And it's similar now with
And like
Ab
a
series.
lot of those people, like a few of those people that went over, it was like, well, not none of my lifters, but there was a few of the lads that went over, and like, I think 1 or 2 of those girls, it was like their second meet. I think it's really cool to get the opportunity to be able to travel and compete.
Yeah.
But then again, we also have the Ab series, so it's like, you know,
so
in
now
that
the
kind of
Ab
way.
series
So
is
it's
there,
like,
so you can do that.
I just feel like that's what I mean with USAPL is like they're just trying to fill a gap that doesn't need to be filled.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
in that kind of way. Like we've got for a place for both tested and untested. So I think if they want to do anything, they should just try and do their own thing separately entirely.
Yeah,
Thing
just
is as well,
separate it.
Do you need more fractured? Do you need more federations?
100%.
Because this is like don't get me wrong, there is gaps for certain federations, but like in the UK alone, I think there's 3 or 4 GPC affiliates. Is that really needed?
No,
Like,
that's over.
Like what the hell's going on there? Like so, like do you like USOPL? Like it's got good ideas, but does it actually need to be there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think for in Ireland the unique issue is that we don't have enough competitions for people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, like if you're an Irish PF lifter trying to get a ticket,
When a comp day goes up, it's
gone. It's
Yeah.
gone.
Ticket
Oh
gone.
yeah.
There's-
It's like when like a big concert is on sale or something like that. It's
Ticketmaster.
like people are there like 5 minutes to
Refreshing
waiting
the
at their
page,
phone.
like
Yeah,
refreshing
no,
their phone over.
genuinely. So like we had to. I told you there was a comp on in Limerick last weekend, and we had to run that essentially last minute because there's a comp on next weekend, and there was like over 100 people on the waiting list that couldn't get a ticket.
100
So
people?
we had to just make a new competition.
That's a whole comp.
Literally, yeah. So we had to run a different comp last weekend just to like
Just to cater
compensate
for
for
all
that.
the listeners,
Yeah.
cater for all the
In
members.
the UK is a bit different. So there's certain comps. In the IPF, most comps do sell out, but not that quick.
Yeah.
Certain comps do, like super training. So you do like, do you know Henry
Yes.
Tosh, the old team GP?
Yeah.
So he owns his own gym, super training, right? Those comps are like really well run, really well equipped. The warm pair is probably the best warm pair I've seen. They sell out very quickly. There's a few just dotted around, like powering through one that sells out real quick. But the rest probably like sometimes last up to a week. But I don't know, could Irish lifters travel over to do them and then use that qualification total for over here?
I don't
Don't think so.
I don't think
so. And you have to be like a resident. Like you have to, I think, to like officially be able to compete under a different Fed. Don't quote me on this, but as far as I know, you have to be like a resident within that country for like 6 months at least.
It would be pretty cool
Something
if
like that.
you could like hop over, but you know,
It'd
I'm
be
just
so
gonna do it.
handy.
I'm
That
doing
was one of the
qualifier.
selling points of USAPL.
Wow,
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
hold a USAPL membership, you can
Oh, you
compete
changed my
anywhere.
mind already, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Another special guest coming this weekend.
2 guest lifters.
That's lifter.
Yeah, I think I would like to see it do it. I think it's got some interesting concepts.
That's a big selling point.
I think another part they're going to struggle with is I can't really imagine how many volunteers they're going to get for it, given that half the volunteers, if not more, are going to be in Carrick-on-Shore at the Irish PF competition.
Problem. Yeah.
And then you've got people are definitely going to be burned out from the City Gym comp and
Abs.
the abs comp that ran that same time. So I think you're gonna have a little bit of burnout there with some people at that just did the ab series as a volunteer. What's the volunteering scene like in the UK, Mason?
That's pretty strong. So what they do in the UK is if you volunteer within your division, you get early entry to competitions.
We do the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people volunteer, man.
It is definitely worth your while to do too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
like help the sport that like let's be honest, like without volunteers, sport wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
The meet wouldn't exist.
And
Yeah.
it can be tough, it can be long, but at the same time, like this is exactly the same for when you're getting spotted for.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
but no, like the only thing is obviously the Article 14, right? I don't know if it stops. I don't know how is it quite strict over here or not really?
I mean, we don't talk about it. Just something.
Yeah.
Let sleeping
It's
dogs
just-
lie. Really.
Yeah.
fair. So in the UK, it's kind of strict, kind of not, right? But in Australia, when on the podcast, you literally can't handle at IPF meets. So I was chatting to a guy I'd done podcasts with, and he's like, "Yeah, I've lost those lifters, so I can't even handle."
So that I know that definitely applies like internationally.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like, I know for like within Ireland, like that's not an issue. Like if we've got people who are like untested or not a part of the Fed, like no, they're not going to be turned away from the comp. Like, you know?
I don't compete in the IPF, but I can still handle like I think regional and divisional, not national. So like, say for example, the GPF nationals and like etc. I can't handle, but regional, which I presume is like it's such a grey area.
Is that because you hold a membership in another federation?
I don't have any membership. I
yeah,
don't
sure.
affiliate myself to any
If you're
federation.
abs, you don't have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So can you not have? But if he was competing
No,
GPC,
so-
he'd need a
Oh,
GPC
sorry,
membership.
yeah.
No, so basically for the team for British, for example, the British nationals, you have to have a membership.
Yeah.
To
Do you not get a non-compete membership and then
I
handle
don't think
those
they do
comps?
them yet.
No, because I went to Manchester Open this year,
They don't do them,
and
do they?
that was the thing when I went through. I was almost worried that I wouldn't get in because it was like you have to have like a man. Tell me about it. But it was like you have to have like a British powerlifting membership. So I had to like go through this whole rigmarole, of, like emailing them, and I was like, I'm still affiliated with the IPF. Am I allowed to come over? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. But I was like, I was like, this is weird. Like I never thought it'd be a thing.
And at the end of the day, all you're doing is like loading a fucking
Loading
for
bar and
someone
picking a number.
Yeah.
It's not deep.
It's like it can be anyone in that fucking position. Like you know what I
but
mean?
yeah, the volunteering scene in the UK is strong. Like,
You don't have it. You never have issues like getting all the volunteers.
no, so like you sometimes refereeing.
Yeah.
Like you do get like you might have it here. Like you have like there's competition season. So qualifier season tends to be like from now to like spring, and those are the big competition in the summer. So what happens is a huge amount of qualifiers. So sometimes they're qualifiers in the same like region. You might have a bit of shortage of referees.
Yeah.
I think that's just powerlifting in general, shortage of referees. Apart from that, not really. Like people mucking quite a lot. The UK scene's pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because like for here, it's a regular thing. I mean, we talk about it here regularly that there is definitely some trouble with getting enough volunteers here, and especially trying to get enough people in as referees. Now, some of that is not people not willing to referee. Some of that is just it's not always been the easiest thing to get access to.
it. Like yeah.
But you know, I think it's just going to show some initiative. So anyone that listened last week, you know, myself and Jake Brennan said it. So we are officially going to be announcing next week a date for 2025 to host a spotting and loading workshop.
Sick.
Very nice.
And Alex, I know you're actively working with the Irish PF to arrange
course,
a
yeah.
referees course. So these are coming. So do stay tuned. We'll announce it on the page, obviously, but we are going to actually put on a spotting and loading workshop. Obviously, there's no charge for it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can all get in a sick training session afterwards. But that would be the plan for that, and to actually put something together properly that, you know, it like an actual volunteers or like a spotting and loading course, so to speak. Speaking of people showing initiative, Meg, could you please throw up Andrew Blackwood in his picture with Andrew Rowe? Really
Two handsome devils right there.
two handsome devils. This I am like.
Sick.
This is sick. Like, I'm blown away by the two boys. So today ticked off the third school they visited with the aim of promoting powerlifting to the next generation. This one was particularly special as we went back to his old school. So back to Andrew Blackwood's old school. Spoke to over 300 students across 2 sessions. We're pleasantly surprised by how many were already involved with weight training and aware of powerlifting. The future is looking bright. Boys, well done.
yeah.
Round of applause for
round
the
of
two boys.
applause, man.
That's incredible. Like, to see James Adcock hunks. James, you
me
are
to it.
100% correct.
Yeah.
I think this is an absolutely incredible thing that the two
Yeah.
lads are doing, and this is their third.
Two
school
two
who've done
great
it.
advocates for the
Two
sport
great
as well.
advocates for
Like,
the sport,
you know.
especially in the junior scene.
Yeah.
Like, absolute role models for any young up and comers that want to get into it. Like, what an initiative, lads! Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you feel the importance of educating youth about strength sports and trying to get more people into powerlifting? You know, because we don't have a grassroots, so to speak.
God, no.
So this is now starting to introduce. We don't have things like they have in the US,
America, yeah.
where
Yeah.
you've got high school powerlifting teams. Is there anything in the UK for that?
Maybe some sports like
But there's some sports, but not powerlifting.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
most grassroots thing you have is probably like Bucks, where they get university teams that go, but like even then, you're at university 19, 20.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so you're probably expensive weight room at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably already training. Like
Yeah.
No, but I think that what the two guys are doing, that's something that I would love to see more of. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
an
absolutely.
incredible initiative that they're showing. Like, imagine the future we could have by just something like this, just making more awareness of it. You know, I think to see funding go into it would be,
Absolutely.
you know,
Essential almost like
Like,
But
I
it's like
think
Go on, sorry.
Like I think in 10 or 15 years time, like you'll look back at a moment like this,
Yeah.
I think like this was a massive turning point.
Yeah.
Like this is
The
where
stepping
things
stone,
started
like,
to happen.
yeah.
Like it's like they're at the precipice of something great here.
Yeah.
I think, and the work that they're doing, like it's just
It's class,
spectacular.
man.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I'm again well done, boys. I couldn't not bring this up. I think this is incredible work the two of you are doing. Absolutely keep it up, and
This is incredible for the sport in
sport.
general, let alone
sport.
in Ireland. You know
Let
what I
alone
mean?
in
It's so
Ireland.
cool that
This
it's
is
so
just good
close
for
to home.
Ireland. It's good for powerlifting.
Yeah.
It's good for
Yeah.
everyone. Like.
Absolutely.
What's the youth scene like in general? Is it quite busy? Because I know our junior scene is definitely hot right now.
Our junior scene in the UK is absolutely fucked, bro. Like, you've got like what was it, Nonzo we're talking about earlier, 19, pushing Tony Cliff.
Yeah.
Tony,
So by fucked you mean great?
absolutely fucked. Like, the junior scene's wild. Like, some of the juniors I coach are doing numbers I couldn't even dream of their age. Like I said, like, I didn't have a junior career, but like the junior scene. I think you might know this, Kremers. I think the Team GB come first in the men's juniors, and then second in the females. Or third.
That was this year, and then
It's wild.
I think it came second in both the year before as well on the
so
junior side.
I think
Insane.
what's happened is in the UK, what started happening is powerlifting's their first sport now.
Yeah.
So you're getting athletes who would get sucked up to rugby
or
or
something,
other sports are starting to do powerlifting. Because it's probably because of social media, right? Let's be honest. It's 'cause of
it's
social
got
media.
clout.
It's definitely a factor to it.
Yeah, so then like what's happening is you're getting these absolute freaks of natures, which we could become professional footballers or rugbyers, but they choose powerlifting.
Yeah.
Good choice, boys.
Yeah.
Well done.
But I guess you always see that with the likes of Taylor Atwood or Russell Orhe, like they went after professional sports, and they didn't go the way they wanted to, but then they transitioned into our sport, and
Yeah, they stayed in the weight room.
Like,
they just kept going.
do you
like,
remember Kevin Oak?
Yeah.
Kevin Oak.
Track
Remember
and field-
Kevin
he was-
Oak?
He was a track and field sprinter.
Really?
Track and field
That's
sprinter.
right, yeah,
Track
yeah,
and field sprinter. Yeah,
he
then when they went
squatted
to
like
powerlifting.
in what, the mid 800s?
Yeah.
Towards the end of his career, he would literally just do a world record squat, token bench, token deadlift.
He had a
knew
crazy looking squat. He had a
high
crazy
bars,
It was like
flat
young
foot,
and
Folding
afraid.
forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ignorant strong.
Yeah.
What happened to Kevin Oak? Did he just come off the
He's
scene? Did he
just
get
real
injured?
estate now.
Yeah.
He's quite retired. He works in like real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a track and field athlete, sprinter.
Just did what he needed to do, and
Yeah, you have those freaks that have found their way into powerlifting, but like with these kinds of things, like I guess getting those people in the grassroots stage and then filtering in, I guess you'll see, well, hopefully, more people like that come through.
yeah.
Mark McQueen as well, like we spoke about earlier. I'm pretty sure he started powerlifting for rehabbing a broken ankle from either football or something. Then found the weight room or boxing and
Yeah,
correct me
just
if I'm
fell
wrong,
in love.
Then fell in love with it and world champion, European champion, world champion, won every, in the space of 1 year, he won every competition he entered.
Yeah. You remember the guys like Jesse Norris?
Oh man, he was a freak. He was the first. Like, John
He
Hack.
was
Yeah.
the OG John Hack. He was the
Yeah.
OG
He was
John
the-
Hack.
he was the OG.
His
John Hack.
total still hasn't been broken.
No,
Still not?
He's
Okay.
there's been a lot of guys like that that have come and gone that were like.
Fair as I know. Double check now.
Yeah, he
Like,
gave-
like that's as well
talking
one thing with powerlifting, and I know yourself and Jake were talking about it last week, where like this sport has got such a high turnout rate, where like people come
Yeah.
in, run hot, and
The wins don't keep coming.
yeah, they don't, like, and things get hard, and you might get a back injury, or like your hamstring can't like seem to take the weight, and you just think, oh fuck
It's-
this, I'll just leave.
A lot of it, in my opinion, is like competition management.
Yeah.
Like you're doing too many comps too soon, too
Yeah.
quickly. Like the stronger you get, the less comps you have to do. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Like you can, like when you first start, you can probably do a comp every 3 months. Let's be honest. Like
Yeah.
You probably need to do a comp
Yeah,
every
get
few
your
months, you know?
experience
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like when you get to like national level or like international level, realistically, do you want to be peaking 5 times a year, making no progress? No. Do you want to risk injury? No.
1.5 times enough for me. Why commit to one comp, pull out of the next? You know what I'm saying, boys?
It works for me, so I'm sticking to it.
I'm doing 1 comp next year. Literally legit.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to 8 months off.
Nice.
Off season, not off
Off-season.
training.
Yeah.
He's still gonna be training hard.
8-month off season. Yeah.
That'd be massive. What are you hoping to do with it? Like, have you ever taken an off season like that before?
Yeah, this one needed the big dogs and it worked so well. Total 1,000.
Yeah, well,
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so I think I'm packing in wraps for the whole 2025, potentially forever. Depends how well sleeves go. So the aim is October to November next year, total 1,000 sleeves.
With the wraps, is it, I guess, the added stress, or is it the physical stress, or the stress of having to work with them, or
So
a combination of both?
I
or-
get asked a lot, like wraps or sleeves. And I always say sleeves are easier because they are. Like I've never had an issue squatting sleeves, but it's not just the strength; it's more the competitions are stressful. You've seen it, and you've probably seen it as well. Like you miss time a rap,
Man.
you're fucked. You're fucked. So Rob Flat. So I think it was just before my 400. Can you remember the series when he kept collapsing?
Yeah.
I'd wrapped my knees. I looked around, his fucking bean head was lead on the floor. I was like, get him up. I'm about to walk out for 400.
I've got 30 seconds here.
hurry up.
He needs to see this.
My legs are wrapped, Rob. Hurry up, bro. But that's more just like, it's just the comps would be easier and more fun. I actually enjoy the squatting aspect of it.
Yeah. Like, I know whenever I've got a lifter who's like doing raps in like a rap meet, I'm like, I can't wait for squats to be over.
Yeah.
Not even any. It's just, I can't wait for it to be finished.
It's so high stress.
It's so stressful, man.
Squats are my favourite lift, but it's the least
my
enjoyable.
Yeah.
I remember one time I had to handle Jesse Moore. And I think it was in like the ab series. Like
Yeah.
three or
It was when
four.
I was in Lithuania. I
We were in
remember this.
Lithuania,
Yeah.
and I remember Steve Cusick was away, and I was
He was
the only
in
guy around,
Lithuania with
and
me,
I
yeah.
was landed with it. And it was just having to count out the lifters and the minutes and just
And then it
stressing,
changes and
just saying
stuff,
rack your
yeah.
legs now.
Yeah.
Which,
And you weren't
he was-
even rapping, were you? He was, like, it's still.
he was self-rapping, but then I was just getting stressed. Watch him.
Yeah.
Hence why I started
Being like,
crying,
oh,
and
you're
I'm just
the
like,
bar's
I'm not
loaded, and
gonna
he's still rapping his other leg, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, the bar is like loaded right now. We're about to get caught.
There's
and he's
definitely
halfway through it.
there's a couple of sweet spots to the timing of raps. If you're rapping
Yeah,
somewhere waiting to get rapped, I will normally wait to hear bars loaded for the lifter coming out before you. When you
Before,
hear
yeah.
bars loaded,
Yeah.
Do you self-rap? Or get wrapped?
no, I'll get rap. But when I'm rapping someone else, I've self-rapped at times, but I generally just don't want that stress. I don't want the hand cramps. I don't want to have a sweaty, palm sweaty, mom spaghetti, and try and roll my own rap. And you've ever been in those situations? Some people like to leave their raps open and fully lengthened out when they wrap themselves. I like to have mine rolled up, and it's not unusual for you to put one on and it pops open. So you have to bring a couple of extra spares. So these are things like that. If you're new to it, bring an extra, bring a spare set of wraps, especially if you roll them up tight. The timing of it. Read the room. If you're not the next lifter out, and the other person that's coming up before you still isn't rolling the wraps.
Yeah,
you can
fine.
probably relax.
Yeah.
There is definitely a sweet spot to timing the wraps. Speaking of wraps, Connor Campbell from Odyssey recently put up a screenshot of a Cerberus order. Now, very vague. He didn't put up what was in it. I think we're starting to see, after speaking to Scott Dean after Nationals, he is definitely interested in training, if not actively training. He was squatting high bar in wraps the other day in Chaos. And as far as I know, Adam Phillips of Odyssey is also going to be competing in another ab series. So I know he did one recently. He quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. He won, didn't he?
Yeah, he won. Was that Cologne?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Germany,
he went to Cologne and did it. And I'm just wondering with Connor's post, is he, have the boys ordered a deadlift bar?
Is he leading on to that?
Is that what we're seeing?
Once again, it's gonna be so funny if he just bought a new pair of wrist straps. Just
Yeah. It's like,
We're
okay,
hyping this
but
up.
there-
Hyping this up in
there's
the
no way he
podcast.
bought wrist straps.
Connor's like,
Well,
new
who
babies.
put up that story?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, I
Very
know.
inconspicuous story.
Yeah.
And plus, why would you buy wrist straps? They're not APF approved.
Yeah, actually, that's true. They're not.
I don't know.
Didn't even think of that.
So
Well, I mean, neither's deadlift bar, like, so you could argue
that's
against
what I'm
that.
saying, but
So.
that would be for the ab series.
No, I know.
So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
Very
I'm
true.
wondering, we're starting to see some people coming over. Like, raps are fun. They are fun.
Like,
But-
if you're not competitive in like within the IPF and you don't have like any real like reason to compete within the RSPF, go to the ab series. Like, it's
Give
just
it a go.
it's
So much
some
fun.
laugh.
It's
It's the
such
best
good
crack you'll
Give
ever have
it
at
a
a meet.
go.
Like, best laugh. Like, I just had a lifter last week do the abs comp, and he immediately just signed up to another one. Like, immediately, he was like, "Oh, this is so much fun. I'm just gonna do another one." Like,
From looking at like last weekend, like apart from Freddie's performance, there were some good performances. I know your guy came second. And there were some good performances, but in the pro-am. But D1 was
Class.
a show.
Savage.
Like, that was a show. There were no Irish lifters left in the pro-am, but D1 was obviously packed with them. I know you had a lifter there. We'll talk about that in a minute, and you're sneaky. But
And it nearly worked as well.
nearly worked.
It's called strategy.
But I think to see more guys come over makes it like super interesting to see, like, if you get Adam and Dean and Connor
yeah, man.
all competing
like
in it
people
next
who
year.
are very like high up regarded within the RSPF as well.
Yeah,
it's
and
like a really big thing.
I love that it kind of like builds a few more bridges as well. It stops that kind of like fractures that can be there between these different things. They're all the same. Especially, it'd be cool to see Conor, especially because he was like, at one point, no way, I don't like him. I don't like ab series. I'm pretty sure he said that in a podcast of his own, if I recall correctly.
Wouldn't surprise me.
yeah. Surprising.
Connor's saying something out of pocket. Nah.
Are you saying anything out of pocket?
bench internationals. Don't get me started.
But I think it would be really cool to see more people coming over into the ab series just to give it a go and see what all the hype is about. And you'll get it right away. It's it's a different thing, so it's its own thing, and it coexists perfectly fine. I think it's super cool. I think, is there any? I know there's Glasgow. Is there any talk of an ab series in the UK that you're aware of?
Oh no, man! Like, there should be. So if there's an abs meet's going to go to the UK, it should be London. Like, without sounding like a prick, like everyone wants to go there internationally.
Yeah,
I think if he done a big meet in London, you'd probably be the biggest meet, one of the biggest meets ever. Because like Dublin's cool, Dublin's very cool, but like London is very accessible for pretty much everyone. Everyone on the planet can get to London right quite quickly. I feel like if he done a clash or a pro in London, it would probably get the biggest attention going, because you'd get like Australian lifters coming up, because Dublin's, like I said, I travelled up from Australia the other day. So that extra 4 or 5 hours of being in the airport and flying again is miserable.
It is.
It is miserable. But now I think it's just Glasgow. Have you been to Glasgow?
I've been to Glasgow. I passed through it. I was in Edinburgh for a week or so. But
Edinburgh's nice.
Edinburgh's nice. What's Glasgow like?
I see you in there in February, bro.
It's Glasgow.
I see you there in February, bro.
Well, we live in Limerick, so we can.
we can't.
Much comparison.
Like we go to Galway and we're like, you guys have nice things.
Yeah.
Don't be wrong, I love where I'm from, but that's because I'm familiar with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure.
It's just like that hometown pride for no reason other than you were born there.
100%.
What are you so proud of?
Nothing.
I was born there. Like it's where I exist. But yeah, ab series. I think it'll be great. I'd love to see one in the UK. And I think the regional series. So we have now announced as well. So tickets will come out on Monday. But we have an ab series regional, which is taking place at Urban Barbell on February 16th. It's a one-day comp. This is our second time running it. This will be the third regional. There's one happening in Chicago 2 weeks or a week before it. And the regional series will be a knee-sleeved series. So still deadlift bar. Everything else the same. Any other rules you're familiar with. The only difference will be a deadlift bar. So we're not going to be running knee sleeves with this. And the idea is that this regional series, after speaking to Jay, is that we're going to have this series of regional events that is more accessible. You don't have to jump into wraps, so you don't have to worry. Well, there's no point in me going, I would do an ab series because it looks fun, but I don't want to get into wraps and everybody else's wraps are at a disadvantage.
Everyone says you get into wraps. Rob Spence can third at the first Clash in sleeves.
Yeah.
He did. At the Clash.
So, like, just because people using wraps don't mean they're any good. Most people are shit in wraps.
No, but I think just by not having them there, it removes that barrier immediately. Because if you want to do wraps, then you can do the divisions. The difference between the regional series and the normal series is that there's no division in this. It's sub 400 dots. So anyone can be in. It's sub 400 dots, and it's going to be a one-day comp. We plan on running another one later on in the year. We'll confirm that as we go on. So if you're watching and you're interested in doing it or you hear about it, please pass it along, share it. But it'll be a sleeved meet with a deadlift bar, so a little bit of nuance to it. So a little bit of uniqueness there.
Ideal comp for.
Ideal comp if you just want to have a bit of fun.
Any teenager
you want to have a bit of fun and you want to compete for dots.
Just like
you want to have some fun, compete for dots. You're sub 400 dots. This is definitely a comp for you, especially if you can't get a ticket to another one. This is a comp for you. Speaking of knee sleeves, lads, Meg, could you pull up the Stiff Sleeve Company? So Sean Mills, aka Wheeze, a Powerlifting America lifter. He lifts under Joey Flex. Just released these knee sleeves. If you would scroll up to the bigger picture, these are sick. So Sean Mills started doing these limited edition knee sleeves. So these are the Éire ones. He did ones for Japan. He did ones for the US, Sweden. Swedish ones are really tasty. Cool. So I've ordered these. They're all limited. One of 99. I don't know if he's gonna sell 100 of them here. I mean, I might buy them all. I don't got that kind of money. This is not IPF approved, but that it says Éire on them.
You just love kids.
Any excuse. Still haven't done a single rep at the night bar.
Yeah,
It's been there for like 2 or 3
things just
weeks.
sitting there, pristine.
I'll start next week.
All I know is that people come in. You seen the night bar? You know, Jesus pulled 420 on that.
It's as if you did it. Like,
It's as if I have the one he did it on.
yeah.
The only one in Ireland. No one can confirm that.
Yeah,
All right, but
yeah.
All I'm
No
saying
one
is
has not
no
confirmed
one
that.
has seen another night bar around. No one's seen
No
my
one's
one.
seen that one either. Sam.
Post anything with it.
Thing just sitting
But
there.
these are very, very cool. Scroll down through them. Like I like obviously, like I said, I ordered them. They're
What size
unique
you
numbered. I got XL in case I want to try them on.
Yeah.
But if I was going to wear them, I'd probably order a large. Like, so it's to match the exact pant of our singlet.
See,
That's
this
class.
this doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to start off right.
Yeah.
now, right? I understand what you're doing, but like, don't fucking make a pair of knee sleeves that aren't IPF approved and then put them and then
big
pair them
SPD
up
logo
with
at
the
the top. Yeah.
with the Irish SPD singlet, and they did that with all of the sleeves. So it's like, yeah, these go so well with the singlet you can't wear.
And it's price as well to get it approved, right?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a couple hundred grand.
it's
I
ridiculous
think, did
money.
Mark Bell spend 250
It's
grand?
two-
And you get me
250K.
remade. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He got them approved, and then in the inside, it's
Oh,
rubber,
that
but
was
you had
the
to get them-
X sleeve.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah. So yeah, I think just it's. Just
I
a
do
cool
I do
idea.
like that they have what number
Yeah.
sleeve. I like that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what number one.
What number you get?
I
Yeah.
end up getting. I'm
But I do find this just kind of it's frustrating, right? Because it's like if you're gonna go through all that
almost
effort,
pointless.
it is pointless. Like I think they're cool, but like and I like don't get me wrong, I think they're savage and like I suppose you could argue and like say that it doesn't really make a difference because even in fact they're not IPF approved, even if they were, we still wouldn't be allowed to wear them because the
Yeah.
team is sponsored by SPD.
By SPD, so you have to
So
wear.
it's like I
SPD.
can't even wear my inserts when I compete with the
But
Irish single
you
lads.
can
So.
wear those in regional meets here. I can't speak to the UK and whether you have to.
But you can't wear the singlet. So
But
then
you
it's
can't wear-
like,
no, you can't wear the
so
singlet.
it's like
But in America, it's very.
you can never
common.
wear that fit unless you're training.
But the culture, I'm not sure how in touch they would be with lifting culture here. But lifting culture in the US, it's not unusual for them to wear, like Brianni coming out to the Abs Pro wearing the USA singlet.
Yeah.
It's very common for
Yeah.
a lot of lifters in the US to wear other nations' singlets on the platform.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine it's maybe.
You're not allowed over it.
It's so
I don't know if it's a rule.
No.
but it's
So
definitely-
it's just a singlet, and there's not. It's not like it is a rule, but the main reason behind it is just because we want it to look not like clean and fresh on the platform when you're internationally
Yeah.
competing. I know you can wash them, but some people are disgusting.
I wouldn't wash it.
yeah, exactly. I think it's not worth it.
surprise me, though.
It's not worth the risk.
Well, it's an old
so,
rugby
yeah.
thing. You don't clean your boots until after the last game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, boots are one thing, but sleeves.
Nah.
No, not sleeve.
Or
That's
like
not singlet.
singlet.
The singlet's even worse.
Singlet is worse. Singlet is worse.
It's
Singlet is
worse than a
worse.
stinking fucking pair of knee sleeves. man.
Yeah.
The whole gym is
Well,
well,
if you guys had some class about yourselves and bought multiple pairs for no reason, you can rotate.
Yeah,
that. You see what I'm
Oh,
getting
so
at?
that's how you validate.
Wait,
it.
you don't have every colorway of knee sleeve possible?
It's like you boys swear you had only one pair of socks or something. Do you know what I mean?
fuck's sake.
Or, yeah, I think these are class. See if we can find like the other nations ones. If you go out maybe to the homepage, some of them are really, really cool.
And say, tell like what? So what did you pay overall? Because I was shocked
I
when you
paid
told me.
about €135, including delivery.
Isn't bad. Like
It's
like,
not bad.
those
They're
stiff
reasonably priced. They're reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they go
88.
down the IPF approved route?
No, I don't know if the company
It
ever gets
depends
big
if
enough.
they want to put money behind it. Like
So the issue is you're buying sleeves that you can't use in comps. You're going to train in equipment you can't use in competition.
100%.
Yeah, most people aren't going to make it.
Because that's the thing.
True.
Yeah,
You know
that. But that is the thing I do find a bit
We are
like
talking about powerlifting.
controversial about it.
Yeah.
Is like you could, like
So
even
no,
if
you
they got,
you do a prep in them, right? And they're amazing, and you can't use them.
but that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you can use them, but it's like there's a chance you'll like lose your like SPD sponsorship.
Yeah.
Even though it's not an actual sponsor. Yeah, but like yeah.
Well,
but,
elaborate on that. Elaborate on that.
Yeah,
Let's go.
no, sorry. But we'll, but yeah, sorry. So like, I just think that sleeves, knee sleeves are here.
Knee sleeves
are mad.
Knee sleeves.
They're cool though. Like I think they're cool. Like, but I think like there's a big market for them for people who are like in the ab series.
Yeah, this is
Do you know
one
what I
of
mean?
my-
I think that'd be cool.
I think this is like, if you're looking for a Christmas gift, it's perfect time. If you want to buy something for somebody that loves powerlifting, this is like a cool time to do it. But I mean, Breen doing the series in the US singlet.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Eamon Breen just wore the USA singlet doing the series.
There's a Singapore T-shirt.
He could have wore those sleeves with that the USA ones.
no,
That would look cool. That's a-
100%. Like that's what I mean. There is a market.
There's definitely some sort of- it's a very
and,
small
like,
market, very
Also, we have to remember as well something that is just kind of popped into my head. Like in comparison to us, like over in America, USAPL is actually pretty big.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
it's massive.
they can all use that stuff with no
Yeah.
hassle whatsoever. So I mean, and if they're only selling 100 pairs her knee sleeve. I mean, like this.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
sell them out,
USAPL
like.
is huge. It's still the biggest fed worldwide out of anything, right?
Well,
I think
no idea.
USAPL domestically has the most members out of
think it's
any
the-
federation.
Active members though.
Active, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's huge because they have
Well, I
all
suppose,
of the
yeah.
all the high school teams. They're
Yeah,
all part
yeah,
of USAPL.
yeah, because they're all affiliates with
I think
the colleges.
Texas alone has the largest member base of anywhere.
Yeah,
It
let's
makes
say that,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just in
yeah.
Texas.
That's fair.
No,
Those
it's
meets
very,
are
very
wild.
cool.
It's crazy. It takes like 2 weeks to run a comp.
Yeah.
like going through every age, weight class, gender. Oh,
No,
it's
I
hilarious.
think it's a cool idea. I love when Kit comes out. It's one of my favorite things about powerlifting is when Kit comes out. Just because I'm a nerd for it, so I like having it. Like, I would probably put these sleeves on once to try them on. I probably won't take a single squat in them, except for when I sit down on the couch to take them back off. again. But they'll probably live somewhere in the podcast setting area. So now I'm using the podcast as an excuse to spend more money. My missus hates me so much. She's like,
It's for the podcast, I swear.
She wants to buy a house. I have no interest in buying a house ever, right? I think it's all a scam. I think the earth is flat and you shouldn't buy a house. I think Joe Exotic is innocent. Right?
Jim Exotic.
Free Jim Exotic. Jim Exotic is so as people found out last week, I used to own a pet shop.
I found out today, bro.
This is my favorite thing to come from last week's pod. I've been thinking about this all week. I fucking love this so much.
And my dad was working there and he would take care of the birds and stuff. So he became nicknamed Jim Exotic. So for after Joe Exotic from the Tiger King. So that's my dad is Jim Exotic. His name is actually his name is Ronnie. We just called him Jim.
All right.
No, I made that up. Ronnie.
I was like, why has Jim been short for Ronnie?
So, yeah,
That would be
Jim-
like the most Irish nickname as well, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah, his name is Ronnie. We call him Jim.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we call him Jim Exotic. So that's what that means. Boys, any other trending topics, things you want to get into, or do we get into some of the questions that came in? Anyone bring anything up? We
Nothing
get into
comes
these
to mind,
questions.
yeah.
All right, so I'll try not to spend too long on them, but there are some interesting ones. I'm going to start with the anonymous ones. We had Phenom Gym putting up another great comp with the Irish Log Press and Deadlift Championship. So just shout out to the boys at Phenom Gym. So all the boys there we've known for years. And I think it's very, very cool they're doing that. It was on the same weekend as Ab Series and as
City
the
Gym
November
Comp, so
Open.
Super busy weekend.
But it looked very cool. I know Tracy Kelly, one of my own lifters, she was competing at it. She said she had a ball. I think it's very, very cool to be able to do it. I like those static strongman meets. If
Easier transition for powerlifters.
yeah, it's easy. Once you can get the skill down of the log. If any powerlifters want to come into Urban and try it out, DM me. I'm happy to take you through a session and show you how to use a log. We have a bunch of strongman kit here as well, so please feel free to come down if you ever feel like giving it a blast. I'm more than happy to take people through it. It's never going to do you any harm to be stronger in any position or direction. But I think it's very, very cool to see Phenom doing it. So yeah, shout out to the boys at Phenom for holding that. Another one that came in was favorite lift or moment from Series 19. Mason, let's talk about it.
Favorite lift of Series 19.
Yeah. So just favorite lift or moment from Series 19. I know what mine is, and it's when I
lift
noticed what you were doing.
Yeah, so Jamie coming second. So Div 1. So we had
Yeah.
so both our lifts a bit of rivalry. So I played it pretty low key.
You did, yeah, it was clever.
Yeah, so basically Jamie hasn't competed fucking over years. So prior to our coaching, I don't mind, sorry Jamie for mentioning this, he didn't have a great meet. So it was the previous coach, I'm pretty sure he bombed. But since then, we've had a massive building phase, huge off seasons. So Jamie was good for around about 760 to 770 total, which is about 100 kg increase from his last meet, which is what the guy's got a lot of potential. You saw him, he's built like a brick shit house. So like, we played a blinder, so his actual squat opener was 260, bench opener was 175, deadlift opener was 250. We put 220, 130, 220. So no one's taken notice. So we squatted 292, which put him up to like 12th place. We changed his bench opener, which put him up to 5th place. Changed his dead opener, he went up to 2nd place. But nearly got your boy though, didn't we?
You neared.
Yeah.
Because part of the problem was, right, I don't pay attention to where the rest of the board is playing out because your
Well,
lifter
he's in
could
the
miss
separate
it.
flight. He's in the
It was-
first
that
flight.
was it.
That's why.
Oh, it was this guy.
This is why I done
okay.
it, because I was like, right, because we purposely dropped it to stay out of the flight. play the game, boys. Right.
That's-
So he purposely
that's
dropped
actually
it. So then he
hilarious.
went
It's
in
clever.
first. He
Yeah.
went in first fight. And I was watching from Australia. I was like, right, this is actually playing out. I was like, well, why is no one noticing?
I'm a genius.
Yeah, I'm a genius. This is playing out. But now, obviously your boy beat him, but it was close. Dot point.
It was very, very close. Like when I had noticed it, I'd seen the squat and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Maybe he just got a crazy ass squat. Then he had a crazy ass bench.
He benched 192. Biggest bench in the whole
You know, his opener down is what, 130?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so I can't even go out and see his lifts because I'm busy here getting TJ warmed up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's see how the deadlifts go. And his deadlifts creeping up. He's still in first place. And I was like, coming into deadlifts, I had a quick chat with TJ. We knew that he wanted to secure 460 dots, get pro am qualification. That was his main goal.
That's like literally like Jamie. That's where we went for the second deadlift.
So I had said to TJ, we're just going to coast through. We're going to see how the board is aligning, and then we'll go from there. And he had a couple of rivalries with a few others. And I had said to him, I was like, you know what? Let's move your deadlift opener up a little bit so that we're not going to take as big of a jump into the second. He went 277.5 for his second deadlift, which was up there. It was a bit of a jump, so it was a bit harder looking than it needed to be, but that was just because of the jump. But I bumped his opener up 5 kilos, went to that, and it was, honestly, we would have needed a heavier third pull if your lad had gotten his third deadlift. So that worked in our favor. Yeah. It was clever.
Yeah, so Jamie, basically, that was my favourite lift of the whole weekend. Obviously, all my lads done well, but Jamie's second deadlift, he has a huge mental block of deadlift. Like, I don't know what happened, but previously he just didn't have a good experience of deadlift. So he'd freak out like 230.
Wow.
But the guy's potentially he can pull 300 plus. Like he has got it in him. It's just so he missed the final pull, but to be honest, I was just happy he got his 460 dots and got prior promotion.
Yeah, no, it's class.
Like,
it's class to see it.
Yeah, he lifted so well. So to be fair, so DJ, like he lifted immaculately. Jamie did. Like he had more kgs in the squat. His bench was like perfect weight selection by Quiver. Like I put 192 to 195. And that was like not a feather would land and pushed him back down.
Yeah,
like, he was bang on the money. And then his second deadlift was pretty tough, but there was no risk of not getting the 460. And after that, I was like, well, just try and put pressure on the guys in the second flight and see what happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys didn't clock. Like I think you're the only person. No one did. And then at the end, I could see that like a lot of people like looking because I've obviously got videos and I was like, who's this guy? Some like just jacked guy with a beard there. Like
No, when I clocked it, I was like, that was a clever move.
We dropped him to the first
Man,
flight.
because I was looking at the board, and I remember because you can when you see, obviously it'll just tell you where people are placing.
Yeah.
I was like, why can I see who's second and third? And I was like, where the fuck is first? And I was looking at the board, being like, what do we need? What number do I need to put in here? And then I was like, why is he in this flight? I was so confused.
So, I don't think anyone's ever done that before. Dropped him right down to the other
into a
flight.
different flight. Is
because I was like,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, so I'd done that purposely. I was like, right, I'm gonna drop him out the flight, and then just before he lifts off, gonna up his openers because he's not gonna get put to the second flight.
They wouldn't have changed him. Yeah.
And they took the pressure off him because he'd done whatever he could.
It was like, It was like, I have to go first, and then they have to do what they gotta do.
I can't do anymore.
I'm not even doing my second attempt, and then I know I need to pull this to beat somebody. It's just I'm just gonna do my 3 lifts and see what happens.
He lifted really well, put in the best performance he could have, and then that's what to be fair, he smashed it, and he's happy with performance because he knows he couldn't have done anything more.
Yeah.
No, I think he nailed it, and it was only just by chance because I could have easily just looked at where TJ was in his flight. I'm like, all right, 100%. We're safe, and then next thing we're second on the podium.
Let's send it in our second because we haven't won. You know what I mean?
That's what I was hoping would happen. That's what I was hoping would happen. I was like, right.
I just bumped to second to secure the 460 dots, and then whatever we needed.
I think you got 461, and we got 462, and we got 460 points something.
Yeah,
I think it was literally a dot point.
It's crazy. It was wildly close. And I know TJ was having a rivalry back and forth with Marquez, and stuff like that also made it difficult for anyone to notice.
Yeah, because there's so much going on, man. And then me and Breen were trying to sneak onto the podium as well, and it was just it was a mess.
Speaking about Breen had a phenomenal
I was going for it. Yeah. So one of my lifters, Eamon Breen, competed. Made Irish history, I guess you could say. Well, like he did. Made Irish history. 267, 180, 307 at 108. The biggest squat, bench, deadlift total and dots for any sub junior in Ireland, tested, untested.
18 years old.
Ever, all time.
18.
Insane. 755 at 108. Literally just off the back of Open Euros, where he almost came second as a 105. and we decided like, fuck it, let's just do this meet for fun, and let's not have to cut. So weighed in at 108, just ate into the next few weeks, and
That's a massive meet for him.
competed, man. Like,
Yeah.
as in
Class.
he totaled 722 at Euros 7 weeks ago, and it did 755.
Maybe he's a 120, bro. Maybe
Yeah,
he's a
no,
one-
that's the
he's-
plan.
yeah,
he
yeah.
needs to be 120. Yeah.
But he's already massive.
He is
Huge.
like, you'll see if you saw this guy, you'd be like, he's not 18.
Oh, this fella's
or
like
nor
30.
is he like, yeah, he's huge. But yeah, absolute freak. Like, hit his first 180 bench on the platform.
Nice.
Huge.
great one.
Pulled over three and more, 307.
more
It never
on the
touched.
day.
I'd never touched 3 and pulled 307.
Had he ever trained in a deadlift bar before?
No, it did one. His heaviest single was 290 on a stiff bar, and then we just went in and his 292 was his second attempt. His second attempt was the most he'd ever deadlifted in his whole
He
life.
adapted.
Yeah.
Super,
Sometimes going in
super
with the
well.
unknown
Yeah.
helps massively. You don't know where your ceiling is.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and
I'm not afraid of anything, 'cause you don't even know.
bear in mind as well with Breen, like we both got a bus at 5 a.m. from Limerick up to Dublin that
Yeah.
morning.
He sent
So-
me a Snapchat of you asleep on the fucking pavement.
Yeah,
waiting
oh,
for
outside
bus.
the airport, I was dead. Yeah, I went out drinking the night before, and I was hungover, so I was like getting sick the whole bus up to
Classic
abs.
Kremlins.
Yeah,
The Kremlin was out.
so
DM for
that was
coaching.
it. Man, hey, he's biggest,
well,
best,
hey,
best sub junior in all of Ireland. So I mean, it
No,
works.
and he's a pleasure to handle. So I was
He's-
obviously in
he's
the
a
best of
legend,
times,
man.
and we were
He's-
handling him together.
yeah.
He is an absolute
Yeah.
pleasure to handle. Like, so easygoing,
Great dude.
very low maintenance. Like, great kid.
was also half. No, it's like 1 dot point off podium, and he's 18.
Yeah, and he's 18.
Like, we literally just pulled that third because I knew he needed 310, and he just wanted 307 because that would have been the like heaviest sub junior deadlift in Ireland. He was like,
No,
just
he's-
lock
he's-
that in. He's like, I don't give a shit about third place, and I was like, fair
Literally,
enough.
like, I think what happened was what opened the podium at Massey was Ross.
Yeah,
Alex
oh,
Ross.
I
yeah.
feel so
Yeah.
bad for him. Like him having such a bad day. Sorry, man, if you
and
listen.
he just tweaked his back in the.
Yeah, tweets back up. It opened up for everyone.
Oh, it
On
changed
on
the day.
Openers, he would have won by like 10, 15
He on
points.
prognosis, he was like I walked in and I was like, oh,
Dots just dropping with each attempt. I was
it
like,
was
Yeah.
like it was wild. It was wild to
yeah.
watch.
So hopefully his back's all right. But like
Yeah.
him not having a great day made it the competition it was.
Yeah.
No, and Alex is a super cool dude.
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
really nice guy.
dude. I've met him a couple of times at the series.
done
I think
well,
I think I actually may have met him in, if I recall correctly, when I was in Iceland a couple of years ago. I think I actually
Oh,
first
cool.
met him there with a couple of the other guys like Rumours and stuff. He's like Half Tour's camera guy. So I'd met a couple of them there, and I think I was chatting to him there, if I recall. I might have even bench pressed with him, but that's because he looks super familiar. But he's a super cool guy,
Yeah.
really experienced lifter. Just very, very unlucky on the day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's
One
doing
of
much
those, you
better.
watch him, you can tell it just wasn't his day.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I think he had a big weight cut coming in again.
He looked like, because he was like, what was he meant to weigh? Like, was he a 75?
Yeah, he was
He
super
was huge. I was looking at this, I was like, there's no way he's that. Like,
No, no,
he's
no.
massive. Like, yeah.
we do see the weight cuts can hit people hard, and they do.
Yeah.
They do, and they will.
Yeah.
If you manage to have a big weight cut and a good meet, you're one of the lucky few.
Probably.
Yeah.
Lucky few.
But the thing is, if you have a big weight cut and have a good meet, that's probably the 1 in 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're the lucky one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just that it's very, very rare.
And
to see that happen.
all that comes off the back of that is somebody's like, I'm so good at doing really big cuts, and then they fucking yeah, literally like tell me one guy that's done 3 huge cuts like back to back and had like amazing performances back to back. You know, it doesn't
Exactly.
happen.
No,
It doesn't happen.
So
unfortunately,
we got another one in from Serban, half band 9.5. So he actually had to put it in the messages to us because it was too long. So he just says, just because it's too little space to write in here, I have a serious issue with the amount of content regarding PEDs in powerlifting podcasts and podcasts in general from people that have no real medical knowledge or comprehension or authority to be speaking about the matter. And I think it's obscene and insulting to the intelligence of those that are not willing to accept and normalize this shit to be trivialized the way it is by just saying, oh, well, it's just information, or we do not recommend the use of these substances, and then talk about their benefits and experience for 3 hours, especially with the amount of children and teenagers coming into the sport. This being said, I'm not against PEDs or people taking them. Whatever decisions you want to make in your life is cool. Take plutonium for all I care. But keep it to yourself, especially if you have the chance to influence someone else. I'd love to hear your collective thoughts on this. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go.
I would echo everything he said. I think he hit the nail on the head pretty well. I think if you want to take something, in regards to anything in life, you're living your life. When you die, it's you. So do whatever you want to do. But you know, I'm not going to name any names, Joe, because like we're all friends. But if you're online trying to be helpful, like you can oftentimes cause more harm than you even try to. If young kids or people who aren't in the know, like I don't know an awful lot about steroids, but if you've got young people asking you for help, I don't think you should help them. Just tell them to get sleep, drink water, eat loads of food, and just go full tilt in the gym, and they'll get stronger. Don't mix in something that can have drastic effects. Because, like I said, like you'll try and help, and like, I don't know, like you could send them to an early grave.
Yeah, yeah, you could seriously affect them. I think you just said something for me that kind of hits the nail on the head, and I think this is what a lot of people need to come to terms with. I've had lots of conversations with guys about this, and there are people that are informed, and there are people that are well informed. But you said you don't know a whole lot about steroids. You know why you don't know? Because you're not a fucking medical professional.
Yeah, 100%.
So
You're not a doctor, and even like these people who are in the know, they're not out there publicizing what they think you should do. Like if you want help, go to a medical professional.
Go to a medical professional.
Yeah, don't go on Instagram and just
Yeah.
DMing. If I got a problem, I don't just DM random people on the fucking internet. So,
Legit, like-
oh man, like no, you go seek help from proper people. Like if you need help, you go to a doctor, or if you need powerlifting coaching, you go to like if you need help with that, you go to a fucking doctor. Don't go to just some strong
Imagine
guy on
that though.
Instagram.
Like it's like you break your foot and you just DM a doctor on Instagram. Like,
Hey, man,
what do I do? Like,
just DMing a bro from the gym, bro. I just broke my foot. What should I do? Stick some peptides in it.
last fucking gear and you'll be fine. It's like, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think for me again, what Sermon said, I'm in agreement with it. I don't have a particular problem with the podcast. I don't pay that much attention to that content. I don't consume a whole pint of that content. I don't have a problem with it. Obviously, I don't have any issues or negative things to say about it. But yeah, I agree with his thoughts in it. I think it's a dangerous game. And I think it's an interesting topic to speak about, but I think how it's spoken about is very, very important.
Do you think it's the reason why people talk about it as well is just to get interaction?
I think that's a big thing.
I think that
Yeah.
would
You will
be
get views.
Like, because like when like me and, for example, shout out to Jesse are going backwards and forwards. Like that got a lot of traction for the app series. Right? It'd be the
Yeah,
same
people
sort of
wanted
thing.
to
Yeah.
see it.
They wanted, yeah. Like it's completely irresponsible, man. Like you see stories about, like you said, like anonymous questions, like what should I do? And people just firing across information.
They
left,
just
right, and
throw out
centre.
random numbers.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? First and foremost, like if you're asking someone random online who you probably don't know, then you shouldn't be asking. Like you're probably 6 months into the sport you're doing.
yeah,
Like
chill
you,
out.
chill. And like just it's painful reading it. Like I've muted people because of it.
Yeah. I think like there's a line between, I don't know if people just do it particularly because they want clout. I think they want to give out useful information, but I think the line of responsibility should fall between being transparent and then oversharing. If you are speaking, and you see these things all the time, so it's not even one particular podcast. This is going on
everywhere,
a lot.
like, in the
A
fitness
lot of different
industry.
people's vlogs. You can go onto any bodybuilder's vlog and this is my cycle or this is my whatever. And I think the danger of that is when you're giving out specific dosages, specific compounds, you are potentially going to entice somebody to be like,
100%.
you look like
Potentially
this,
kill
or you're
someone.
this strong.
Potentially kill someone.
Like literally, or you're gonna probably impact that person for the rest of their life. You know, we all got into this sport one way or the other. We're all riddled in some sort of anxiety or insecurity, and we're all looking for something. We're all looking for some sort of purpose. And someone that's vulnerable, if they latch onto that, that's where it becomes dangerous. Sure, be transparent, but. You know, I mean, Ronnie Coleman was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was like,
Oh,
you know,
the
what do you
basic
say?
stuff, man.
Oh, you
The
know,
basic, the basic.
just the basics. Some tests, some debone, just the basic stuff. You know, and that's fine. And he didn't go any further. And you know, no,
I don't
may
think
have
he
not
should have
needed-
either.
No, and he shouldn't have. It's like,
think he
he should have given us everything. He should have. No, he shouldn't have. He absolutely shouldn't have.
Because you know for a fact that there was a group of teenagers that would have
They wanna look
done
like
that
him.
exact thing.
Oh,
because
without a
Ronnie
doubt.
did it, and I want to be like Ronnie. So
Yeah,
here we
look,
go.
it's like it's kind of like this. This is a terrible analogy, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We
This is
all
gonna be bad.
everyone has to wipe their arse. We don't need to know if you scrunch the paper or fold it.
I've learned my whole life without hearing that. I could have done more.
Folder over here.
Quote me.
Clip that.
That will be a clip. Yeah.
So yeah, that just came into my head just there.
I hate how much you think you're funny. Like, you're just like laughing at yourself. You're like, man, I'm gassed.
Yeah, you're all laughing at me, then it's like,
They're
this
all
loser.
so lucky to have me as a friend.
Yo, Silver Fox himself.
Silver
I am
Fox
pretty
strikes
funny
again.
though. I'm pretty funny. I've been known to be called like the Chris Rock of Irish powerlifting.
Shit every week. Like.
We do have to do like
Will Smith's gonna come and slap
Will
you
Smith,
someday.
I wish you would.
Yeah, you fucking probably like it.
Daddy. All right. So, yeah. Alex, what are your thoughts on it?
I can't even remember the question. Yeah, like, fuck's sake. Yeah, like, geez, I'm fucking the last person to ever be talking about or having an opinion on fucking any sort of like a ped or steroid or anything like that. Like, I don't pay too much heed to it because it's just not in my bubble, I suppose. But like, yeah, I do think it's one of those things. Like we touched on it last week in general. Like if you have any sort of influence on people, or especially younger people who are new to a sport or anything like that, it's like you have to watch what you say and you have to be careful with what you're saying. So I think that is the main thing. It's like I pretty much agree with everything everyone said here. Is like you just watch what you're fucking saying and like even like, you know, you even see with like nutritionists, right, where they don't want to give a like their macros throughout the day because they don't want other people to
follow them,
to be directly doing that, because it's like, no, but this doesn't apply to you. Like what I eat in a day doesn't mean you should eat that in a day. And I think that's the only way I can connect the two is like the very same thing applies to steroids, right? Where it's like, or even in general, like the knowledge they have behind it, it's like there's certain things that are going to be taken up the wrong way, whether you might mean all the good in the world to try and actually give somebody this advice, but doesn't mean it's the right advice to give out. So I think sometimes sometimes you're almost better off to say nothing than to say too much. You know what I mean? So I think when it comes to those sort of things, 100%.
Yeah, no, that's our thoughts on it. Anyway, Urban, thank you for that question. I think it was a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's always worthwhile to be direct on certain things, but definitely you need to be very, very careful of who you might leave an impression on. Jack, Mason, coming to you both. Here we are. We're into the final piece of today's podcast, so thank you very much for coming on. Some quick fire questions for you. Jack, I'll come to you first. So no overthinking the answers. First thing that comes to your head, go. Favorite accessory?
Rose.
Mason.
Faceballs.
Something all powerlifters should do but don't do.
Just gain weight.
Wash.
Do you remember at one point A7, because I'm a bit of a kid, all right? So A7 brought out soap at one point. What? You recall that? Yeah.
Good. Did he bring it back out?
Yeah.
How
Start
many
selling them
blocks
at
of
meats.
soap?
Like, that's genuinely. Deodorant, like
telling you right now.
Is this an untapped market? Powerlifting.
The untapped is kind of the problem. There's no one at the taps.
Some of the junior meets I've been to, bro.
But that was the thing.
Come on, lads. Come on, lads.
And like, boys, look, it's no disrespect, but as the weight classes get heavier, that warm-up room gets smellier. That's a fact.
Man.
It gets warm. When you walk, it's warm.
Man, it's musky. It's like
Breen.
There's a
M.
humidity to
Breen.
the air.
M. Breen said the biggest difference between being at an IPF meet and an AB series meet is obviously there's some untested lifters at AB series meets, and he said it's the smell in the room.
there is a smell. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but
You've got like cattle in a fucking room. It's like walking to a farmyard. You just got these creatures.
Oh God! You know these creatures.
I mean that in a nice way because they're just fucking yoked.
Absolute units.
It's like they're farm animals.
If you had to remove one lift, what would it be?
Bench.
No surprises there. Favorite lift and why?
Deadlift. I think because it's the last lift of the day, so whatever dramatics can come from those like final pull battles, and it's just my biggest lift as well. So
Love that.
Deadlift.
Why? Because you're good at it.
Yeah, and I can't stand rapping squat rapping. Literally cannot stand anymore.
yeah,
Fair. Yeah. Dream competition to win.
worlds.
Boy, big dogs.
Big dogs. Yeah. If you could only do one lift for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why?
Squat. Even though I love deadlift, but I think just squat is like such a full body movement. Like, you know, I don't see how it could ever be a detriment. Just being
it'll always serve you.
a big squatter.
Deadlift, just because I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yep. If you had to compete in a totally different sport, what would it be?
Jake Brennan said it last week, and I actually thought about it too, because when the Olympics were on, we were all talking about in the gym, like, what sport would you do? And I think a lot of powerlifters would actually be good at rowing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
short bursts, just pull like a fucking dog. Just
Yeah,
go
yeah.
for it.
Probably running again. Go back to running.
Go back to running.
Yeah, actually be able to walk up a set of stairs.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What's your go-to hype song that never fails to fire you up?
Zombie.
Drowning by Excision. It's on the Abs playlist.
I was going to say,
They put it on
I
for
was thinking Drowning Pools for a second.
Nah. It's for the 390 Cash Titans put it on.
Oh,
and
nice,
then
nice,
it's on
nice.
the, I hear it on the background of the playlist now. It's a decent.
All right. If you could bring back one retired lifter for a head-to-head battle, who would it be?
So, like, if they're retired, could I bring them back in like their prime? Or is
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
can-
peak, peak. Like yeah,
Like-
yeah, yeah.
Cone?
Oh,
Gone.
fuck
the
yeah.
goat,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, you're never going to go wrong with that.
you couldn't
Probably
go.
Manachev. So I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He retired undefeated. I'm not going to beat him, but it'd be cool just to be trained.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to,
yeah,
just
just
to have
to
a
be-
I
battle
don't
with
think
him.
he ever lost a meet. I think he lost a meet early in his career, but when
Early,
he
like
when he come to his prime, he just didn't.
Yeah,
lose.
yeah.
Just didn't. Manachev was a
Yeah, he was
different
class.
beast.
Sick.
Different
that
beast,
time
yeah.
in Russian powerlifting, like
Ah.
Belkin, Manachev, yeah.
hitters.
No, who's that? Is it Federico, the IPF lifter?
Yeah,
the tiny
yeah,
guy?
yeah, yeah.
Federico?
Yeah, that's it. Sergey, yeah.
Sure, he hasn't lost a meet. I think in what is it, 12 or 15 years?
His world record still is untouched.
Is he
It's
at
always
52 or 57?
59.
Did you hear actually on the King of the Lifts? It was a few weeks ago. Some other 59 was talking a bit of smack,
Wasker, yeah.
and like they translated it to Russian to Sergey, and he said, "Well, maybe you might beat me in 10 years when I'm like 45."
Yeah.
He's like, "But now it's my show still." Like, he's like,
Yeah, and it has been for the last like 10
Nice.
years.
"Yeah,
Like,
100%."
because back when it was Wilkes, it was him versus Ray Williams for best lifter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I think for me, it'd be KK.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like in terms of the Russian era, that old school era. For me, I said last week I would love a head-to-head with Brett Gibbs. Brett Gibbs.
That's what I said to you.
Yeah,
when you asked me.
Brett Gibbs be my one as well.
Great
But
powerlifter.
you're one of those old generation powerlifters. He wasn't that old generation, but from that kind of stock,
yeah.
of
Yeah,
powerlifters,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
KK for
We
me.
all
Like
saw
2014,
KK,
15,
this
yeah.
is my
Yeah.
belt. Like, I'm
Oh
a big,
yeah,
big
that
fan.
was. That
You know
was
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
What's the one thing about strength sports that you think the world needs to know?
That it's not as bad for you as people think it is. Because like with what the two Andrews are doing when they're going talking to schools and kids and they're trying to just preach some good info, is that like if you start lifting weights when you're a teenager, it's not going to stunt your growth. It's not going to break you apart. It'll just
Speak for yourself. Right?
yeah, well, it actually don't be fun. The 2E maybe not so much, but the
Shock kicks.
2E, the 2E, so it's like 50-50.
Yeah, there you go.
But it'll just make you more resilient and stronger, and it'll help with other sports. If you're just a little bit stronger, I don't see how that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much echoing what he says. So the Mark Bell saying, strength is never a weakness.
Yeah, 100%.
Like literally, like you can never be strong enough. Well, you can be strong enough, but like strength is never going to make you weaker. It's going to make you more resilient to injuries, the whole lot in life.
Yeah. I think for me, the thing about strength sports is that other people should know is it's more than just the weight on the bar. There's a culture behind it. There's people behind it. This is, this is a community, and what it has to offer is so much bigger than your total.
Yeah.
It like we wouldn't all be here without it.
True.
We've made some great relationships and
My best
friendships out of
mates
this.
are powerlifters.
Yeah,
It's such a social aspect.
My only friends are powerlifters.
I don't want to say that. Yeah, I didn't want to say that. Like, but
And I think that's another big important part of it is that it's not all scary, crazy, loud. A lot of the time we play loud music to one, cover up the sound of our farts when we're squatting heavy, and two, because some of the guys we looked up to did it, and we just want to reenact our version of that
yeah,
moment.
for
you
sure.
watch the Pete Rubish basement days.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
We also just want to have a piece of that. And we
for
were
sure.
inspired by
100%.
those guys. So that's where a lot of that
Go
comes
wash
from.
and dryer behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sick.
I think it's his mum's
So many
basement.
people
Yeah.
won't even know.
No,
what that
they
means.
won't
I
have
said
won't
Andre
have a
Manachev.
clue.
I
Yeah.
guarantee
A
not
lot
one-
of juniors won't
90%
even.
people.
No, I'd say
Right.
honestly all juniors. I honestly would say.
So I was training. I used to work at a gym called Ronin. So there's a girl. I'm not going to mention her name to save her embarrassment. So there's a girl who trained there. She was wearing an A7 singlet. As soon as I said that, she's going to know who she is. So she's wearing an A7 singlet.
She knows.
I was like, oh yeah. Tony Cliff, he lifted well the other day, didn't she? She's like, who? I was
Oh,
like,
not Tony,
I was like,
man. I love that guy.
You work in the GPF, and the guy who's
That's-
wearing that singlet in the advertisement. I was like, how do you not know?
Who's an equipped and like,
But I guarantee you know who that Wheeze is.
Yeah.
And people like that, like Tony Cliff's like the GOAT of British powerlifting.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
without a
actually have
doubt.
a pretty funny knock on to that. Is that I remember one time a few years ago back in City Gym. I'm not going to say the
Say
guy's
names.
name.
Say names.
I'm not going to say them. But we were playing some music and Hell's Bells came on. So do you know at the start it just rings like a bell.
Yeah.
And she thought that we were playing the Angelus. And she was like, "Why are you playing this?" And I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
And she was like, yeah, you're playing that. I said, just give it a moment. And then the guitar kicked in, and she was like, that's different.
Is
I
this
was
a
just like,
remix?
this is ACDC. Like, what?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
way too young to be here.
There's a heavy metal remix.
Yeah. Literally,
So
like.
the podcast I done the other day, like back in Australia, I was mentioning all these lifters, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't know who they are." Like afterwards, they're like, "Sorry, mate, I just didn't know who half these lifters were." I was like, "I fucking said like Andre Malinchev and stuff. How the fuck
big
do you know
names.
who this is?"
Fucking hell.
And I was like, I realised like shit, I'm being in sport for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. What is the best advice you've received in lifting?
Man, that's so hard. You
There's
go first.
two. So Tony Stevens, probably the second best British powerlifter of all time. 2 times World Games champion, 8 times European champion. No one knows him. He's like from the 80s. He's always said to me, it's not where you start, it's where you finish, which is true in not just competition, in training.
Everything.
And it's all about the long game. I say it all the time.
100%.
Like, if you look at my first total, was 602 kg. Like, I'm not gonna lie, probably a lot of people listening to this podcast would have done that
Yeah.
the first week.
Yeah.
But now I'm turning 1,000 nearly 10 years later. So, like, if you just make incremental gains while keeping healthy, it will take you far further than making an explosion and getting to a certain point and not be able to continue.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to John O'Dwyer once, and this is
John
the
O'Dwyer.
goat. John O'Dwyer. Shout out to John O'Dwyer. He definitely
vet.
won't see this, or a literal vet.
A literal vet.
A literal vet. But it kind of echoes on from your point where I was chatting to him. He was going to like one bench Euros or like a bench Worlds. Like he's been to 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And I asked him about his competition, and he said, well, to be honest, a lot of my competition aren't really going anymore. And I said, why? He said, they're all dead. Because John
He's
was
at
like an
it
M4.
so long.
He's been at it so long.
He's been
He
at it
said, I've
such a
just
long time.
outlasted
Yeah.
everybody. But then I guess what I took from that, where it's like, you know, it's a total game, just take your time. Like with Tony Cliff, like
Because
he's just been at it.
If you look at his open
for
powerlifting,
years.
look at his open
Like, yeah,
powerlifting.
it's just
Yep.
you know a decade of just throwing kilos
Yeah.
wherever they can.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
just kept at it.
Because
Just didn't stop.
he won his first open worlds when he was like 36, was it? Or 35?
Class.
Yeah, 35 or 6.
Yeah, 'cause
Love that.
I think he's 40 this year. I think he's Masters 1 now.
Yeah,
but like
only 41, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
41. But like he literally won his first worlds at like 35, 36.
Yeah,
Insane.
it's about
Like-
the long game.
Yeah, most,
Couldn't agree
most
more.
people would have quit
Yeah.
after about 3 or 4 years and not done
Easily.
that.
But yeah,
Easy.
that's it. Because like we've such a high turnover, and I feel like you have to do your apprenticeship, or you have to do at least
Yeah,
4 or
man.
3
Gotta
or
earn your
4
stripes,
years.
man.
You
Just
do.
because if you see a young guy or a young girl still here after 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
I have more respect for that
Than
almost
anyone else.
someone going to worlds.
Regardless of like how far
Regardless of
they've
the
come or
accolades,
like
yeah.
what they've done in
Yeah,
the
it's
sport.
just the
Just
fact
you're
you
still here.
Stuck it out.
Yeah.
It's so
Honestly.
impressive.
Yeah,
It's
boys.
admirable.
Yeah, boys, that is it. Thank you very much for coming on. We have Jack Kenny.
Thank you,
Jack,
guys.
where can the people find you?
Probably at home. But besides that,
Don't look for him at his
don't
house.
look, yeah.
Don't come knocking up in his window.
I'm knocking on my door. Yeah, so you find me on the gram. It's jackhenny.ie. And you find me on Facebook too, Jack Henny, but probably no one's even on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook. I'm all.
Same.
He still uses it actively.
Active.
He just posts all the time.
That's where you can buy and sell good gym equipment on it.
It's true. It's actually very true.
Delete that app. Yeah, you have enough.
Facebook and RIP.ie.
You're really showing your age.
Silver Fox strikes again.
So yeah, and Jack, we can hopefully see you in April competing.
100%, I'll be there.
Competing at the April Open in Urban Barbell. Mason, where can the people find you?
Strength on Instagram, Facebook. If you want to see the same posts.
yeah.
Basically, what I do is what I post on Instagram, I post on Facebook for my mum and dad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love
I respect that.
Yeah.
Respect it.
Because they've got Instagram where they go on it like once a month. Do your parents
Yeah,
have Instagram?
yeah.
And you just get like a mass
Man,
load of
you're like, oh, I'm
notifications.
so popular today.
Yeah,
it's like,
like-
no, it's my mom liking my 16 posts.
Yeah,
Literally.
mine would be like
Literally.
2 o'clock in the morning, anywhere from midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just Jim Exotic, just like and my phone is going zing zing zing. So yeah,
Stop it, Jim.
guys, thank you very much for coming on today. I've been one of your hosts, Ian Benson, joined by Alex Clemens, Jack Kenny, Mason Mills. Thank you very much for coming on, boys.
Thank you.
Guys, make sure you subscribe. Tune in for the next episode. Next episode is episode 7 coming up with Maeve, and we'll have Keeve Ryan joining us. Mason's partner in crime. Keeve, another international lifter, very, very top level, national level lifter as well. Currently training. What gym are you training out of?
Barbell Lounge in Maidenhead.
Barbell Lounge in
sharp.
Maidenhead. So that's it, guys. Tune in to the next one. Thank you very much for coming by. That's it. That's a wrap. Sinead, Slán, Meg, we are out.
Barbell Lounge.